Evening. Welcome to the regularly scheduled meeting of the Mayor and City Council of the City of College Park. My name is Mayor Bianca Motley Broom. We have a quorum present with council members McKenzie, Karn, and Arnold, and so I'll call the meeting to order at this time. The first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'm not sure I got a notification about which chaplain was handling the invocation this evening. Oh, Chaplain Stewart.
Good evening, everyone. Mayor and City Council, Mr. Hicks, Mr. Denmark, and the City of College Park. Let us pray. Most Holy Father, we honor you and seek your divine guidance and wisdom as the business of the City of College Park is shared and discussed. Thank you for being the Lord who positions men and women in strategic roles to lead as guided by you. Help this body of leaders to hear your direction and move in truth and with integrity. We pray blessings upon our mayor, city council, city manager, department heads, city staff, and all men and women who have positions of authority within the city. May your Holy Spirit rest upon them. Continue to direct the path of leaders who trust in you and acknowledge you in all of their ways. We pray that their positions of authority continue to be protected and covered by you. Allow your blessings to flow to all corners of our city as we, the citizens and leaders, work together to advance your purpose. We praise you for helping College Park to be the model city that you are enabling us to be. We bind the works of evil and demand that they be gone. These blessings we pray in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager, our wonderful City of College Park. Tonight I will be reading a statement of embracing civility. Civility is more than just politeness. It is about disagreeing without disrespect, seeking common ground as a starting point for dialogue against differences, listening past one's preconceptions and teaching others to do the same. Civility is the hard work of staying present, even with those with whom we have deep-rooted and fierce disagreement. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, City Council members, City Manager. On behalf of Fire Chief Sterling Jones and our fire safety team, we'd like to offer a brief safety message. In the event of a fire or emergency, please remain calm, proceed to the nearest exit. Exit signs are clearly marked in the building and throughout the building. There are 2 exits in front of me, 2 exits behind. Follow the designation of the College Park staff designated assembly area. Once outside, please remain in the assembly point until further instructions are given by city personnel. If you notice a smoke or fire during the meeting, please alert staff immediately and follow evacuation instructions. Your safety is our priority. Thank you for your attention, and let's have a productive meeting.
Thank you, Chief.
Item 2, additions, deletions, amendments, or changes to the agenda.
Are there any?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Staff requests to remove agenda item 9F from the regular agenda and 9G.
Madam Clerk, could you read those?
Yes,
So
Madam
everyone's on
Mayor.
the same page?
Yes, Madam Mayor. Item 9F, removal of consideration of an ordinance to amend Chapter 4 Animals and Fowl of the city's Code of Ordinances.
Ms. Baldwin, I'd rather keep it and just let it be voted on, up or down. I don't want to remove it. because it's state law. So let's just vote it up or down to the record.
Yes, sir.
Did it come from staff or was it from Councilmember Gay? Or?
It was Councilman Gay.
Okay, all right, so we're just removing 9G?
Yes, Madam Mayor. I'll
Okay,
read
and that-
9G. Consideration of an action on a request to approve the Zepp Park Playground project and related park improvements in the total amount of $800,000, including $525,000 to Compton Inc. for playground and adult fitness equipment installation and related items, and $55,000 to MetroCore Development Enterprises Inc. for project management and design. This fiscal year 26 budgeted item requested by interim Recreation and Cultural Arts Director Lance Terry will serve Ward 3.
All right, is there a motion?
I have a question.
I think if there's a motion to,
I've got a
Make-
question before I make a motion.
Councilmember, I'd ask that if there's anyone who's got a motion, because that's appropriate at this time, and then if not,
I've got a question. The item, 9G, is that something that was requested to be removed?
Councilwoman Arnold, what's your pleasure? We could keep it on and let them vote it up or down, or we could take it off.
Well, I believe that staff had done their research on this particular item. I haven't heard any reason why the item should be removed, unless someone knows of a reason that it should be.
Mr. Denmark? Does it comply with state law?
I honestly don't know. I've not reviewed this item. It was not, I did not review this item, so I don't know whether it does or it doesn't. I can't answer that question.
So
And I
legal's
recommend we
not
leave
had a
it
chance.
on. Let's leave it on, vote it up or down.
Thank you.
Mr. Denmark, one question for you. State law requires us to bid out public works contracts in excess of $250,000, correct?
That's certainly the standard, yes.
Are there any exceptions to that?
Yeah, there are exceptions to that, and I don't know whether an exception, I don't know what happened here. I don't know whether an exception applies here. There are a lot of questions that are not answered, and that would not allow me to make a definitive determination on whether this complies or not. And in the absence of evidence to the contrary, I would just have to defer to the city staff.
Alrighty. So is there a motion to remove 9G from the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move forward. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor? Aye. That is unanimous.
Item 4A, workshop session minutes dated April 20th, 2026.
Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 4B, regular session minutes dated April 20th, 2026.
Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 5 is proclamations, resolutions, plaques, and announcements. 5A, introduction of new employees in the month of April 2026.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. We're pleased to welcome our newest team members to the city. I would like to ask all new employees to come forward and introduce themselves and state what department they work with. Okay, just come on.
Hello, my name is Antoine Morton. I'm with the College Park Police Department, and I'm happy to be here with you all.
How you guys doing today? I'm Officer Moy. I'm with the College Park Police Department, and I look forward to working with you all.
Hey, how are y'all doing today? My name is Rashawn Walton, and I'm a park attendant at Herschel Park. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Amarion Goodlow, and I'm a laborer one for Buildings and Ground.
Hi, good evening. My name is Abubakar Mdathir. I work with, on Building and Ground Division, and I'm happy to be here.
Brandy Hurd, Parks.
Deidre Jones, also Parks.
My name is Kia Thomas, and I'm with the fire department.
Chaz Jackson, fire department.
Rick Clemens, fire department.
Daniel Bowden, work with Parks.
I'm Nicole Dozier, and I'm with Economic Development.
That's a big, beautiful group here. It is. All right, three. On the three. 1, 2, and 3. Again. 1, 2, and 3. Last time. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you.
Item 5B, Employee All-Star of the Month Recognition, April 2026.
Okay, I'm excited to give this one. This employee joined the City of College Park in June 2021 and has shown himself to be a great asset to our team. He exemplifies outstanding leadership and continuity of service as Public Works transitions into officially overseeing parks maintenance. He has been very instrumental in ensuring that parkland areas remain visually pleasing while effectively leading team efforts. He consistently takes the initiative on projects while also training new employees and supporting their development. Hardworking and focused, he never leaves a job unfinished. He approaches complex challenges with practical, well-thought-out solutions and regularly goes above and beyond without seeking recognition. In addition, he has expressed a strong desire to continue growing within the organization and is scheduled to participate in professional development training. His dedication, initiative, and commitment to putting the needs of our city first makes him highly deserving of this recognition. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Demetrius Harvey on this well-deserved recognition.
Mayor and council, he may be the most photogenic city employee we have.
On three. One, two, and three. One. Where's that smile? Oh, you got it. One, two, and three. Again, one, two, and three. Perfect.
Next, item 5C, proclamation recognizing the Southerner online and journalists Lark McCormick and Chloe Loach for their thoughtful and unbiased reporting highlighting the approval of the Roderick Gay Botanical Garden Initiative in College Park. This item is sponsored by Councilman Roderick Gay.
Good evening, everyone. Before I get started, let me introduce you to these young ladies. They wrote an article about the botanical garden that we voted for unanimously, and she called and asked Lark, and she called and asked for questions. And at the time, I just thought it was just someone wanted to write an article. But what struck me about the article is, first off, they go to, what's the name of your high school?
Midtown High School.
Yeah, it used to be called Grady, right? Yeah. And we have a lot of history with that school. But not to take away from them, I don't read this, but my son, Blake, went to Inman and Morehouse and Columbia. And he could have been anything in the world, but he wanted to be a journalist, because he felt that there's a lot of misinformation. So when I saw their article, what impressed me is that there were no politics. They don't know any of us. But the article was so balanced. And it just goes to show that we are in good shape to have a generation of young people who still believe in fair and balanced reporting. And so I thought it would be fitting to honor them with this proclamation. Okay. I didn't read it, so forgive my poor English. So, whereas student journalism plays a vital role in fostering civic awareness, critical thinking, and community engagement among young people, and whereas the Southerner, the student-led publication of Midtown High School, has long-standing tradition of journalistic excellence and integrity, serving as an open forum for thoughtful and impactful reposting, and whereas student reporters Lark McCormick and Chloe Loach demonstrated exceptional initiative, professionalism, and dedication through their coverage of the Roderick Gay Botanical Garden Project in College Park. And whereas their reporting thoughtfully highlighted the vision, education value, environmental impact, and community significance of botanical gardens, while also presenting a balanced perspective that included community voices, opportunities, and concerns. And whereas their words reflect the highest standards of ethical journalism, providing fair, accurate, and well-rounded coverage without partiality or undue influence, serving as an example of responsible storytelling and civic-minded reporting. Whereas these young journalists exemplify the promise of the next generation of leaders in media, demonstrating that curiosity, discipline, and integrity can produce meaningful contributions to public dialogue at an early stage in their careers. Now therefore be it proclaimed by the Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council of the City of College Park, do hereby recognize Lark McCormick and Chloe Loach, along with the Southerner, for their outstanding achievement in student journalism and for their commitment to excellence in covering the development of the Roderick Gay Botanical Garden, proclaimed the 6th day of April 2026, because they was on spring break. Can we have some words from y'all, please?
Hi, I'm Lark McCormack, and me and Chloe are both sophomores at Midtown High School. And we both are like first year on staff of the Southerner this year. And for both of us, I think it was one of like the main reasons why or the Southerner, like their legacy itself was one of the main reasons why we were so excited to join. And so I'm really glad that we were able to contribute to that. And the Botanical Gardens, we're so close to the Atlanta Botanical Gardens, and it's something that, we used to go on field trips to all the time in our elementary schools. And so I know that we are both really excited to hear that they're expanding and having a new one in College Park, because I just think it provides so many great opportunities for the community, and we're really excited that it's getting another new location. And thank you so much for honoring us.
Item 5D, proclamation recognizing May 17th through May 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week, and pay tribute to the city's public works professionals within facilities, the water and sewer, highway and street, stormwater, building and ground, sanitation, parks, and keep College Park beautiful. This agenda item is being requested by Public Works Director Brian Anderson.
I think about 2/3 of this room is worthy of this proclamation at least. So if you want to come on down. Like I said, about 2/3 of the room. Oh, y'all are gonna have to fill in. Yeah, about 2/3 of the room. I was about right about that.
We can go on over to over here.
It's all the cool kids. Like I said, about 2/3 of the room. I know. It's everybody. Hello. How's it going? Hello. I like that purple. Good. How you doing? Not even like shouting at you. All right. So the City of College Park is celebrating National Public Works Week, which is May 17th through May 23rd. Whereas public works professionals focus on infrastructure, facilities, and services that are of vital importance to sustainable and resilient communities and to public health, high quality of life, and well-being of the people of the City of College Park. And whereas these infrastructure, facilities, and services could not be provided without the dedicated efforts of amazing, outstanding, incredible public works professionals who are engineers, managers, and employees at all levels of government and the private sector who are responsible for rebuilding, improving, and protecting our nation's transportation, water supply, water treatment and solid waste systems, public buildings, and other structures and facilities essential for our citizens. And whereas it is in the public interest of the citizens, civic leaders, and children in the City of College Park to gain knowledge of and maintain an ongoing interest in the understanding of the importance of public works and public works programs in their respective communities. And whereas the year 2026 marks the 66th annual National Public Works Week sponsored by the American Public Works Association. Now therefore be it proclaimed that the Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and City Council of the City of College Park, Georgia, do hereby recognize the week of May 17th through May 23rd, 2026 as National Public Works Week to pay tribute to our public works professionals, engineers, managers, and employees and to recognize the substantial contributions they make to protecting our national health, safety, and advancing quality of life for all. Rooted in service, powered by community. Proclaim this 4th day of May, 2026. Director Anderson, would you like to say a few words?
If I said it once, I said it 1,000 times. This is the most tenured staff I had the honor of working alongside. I worked in 4 different cities. I managed numerous staffs, but this is the most talented staff I ever had the pleasure of working with. And I'm going to be redundant. I'm going to be monotonous. I'm going to be repetitive. What scares me is a lot of this town is going to leave me in the next 1 to 3 years. So I'm trying to build this bench up. If I may do a shameless plug, I recently promoted some supervisors. Please give a hand out for Deontay Huffman. He's a water supervisor. Eric Hunter, he's now the supervisor for stormwater streets and highways. Antonio Beasley, he's the building ground supervisor. And last but not least is we got Mr. Tim Spencer. He's the sanitation coordinator. He runs the day-to-day. So I'm proud of you guys. Keep fighting the good fight. We got a lot of work to do, and I love you.
Chair for this one.
Tilt it forward, back forward. There you go. Good. All right, group. The young man behind you, Mayor. There we go. Perfect. Everybody's faces and the young lady right in that right there. Go 1 second. Thank you so much. Perfect. Okay, group. Here we go. On 3. 1. Tilt that black forward again. 1, 2, and 3. Again. 1, 2, and 3. Last time. 1, 2, and 3. Excellent. All right.
Stay.
5E, proclamation designating May 3rd through the 9th, 2026 as National Drinking Water Week in the City of College Park. This item is being requested by Public Works Director Brian Anderson.
All right. Whereas water is a fundamental natural resource essential for human health, well-being, and the environment. And whereas the provision of safe and reliable drinking water is a critical public health service. Whereas the Safe Drinking Water Act, enacted in 1974, plays a vital role in ensuring the quality of our nation's drinking water. And whereas the American Water Works Association has led the annual celebration of Drinking Water Week since 1988, recognizing the importance of water professionals and the vital role drinking water plays in our daily lives. Whereas the week of May 3rd through May 9th, 2026 provides an opportunity to raise awareness about the importance of protecting our water resources and promoting water conservation. And now, therefore, be it proclaimed by the Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem, and Council of the City of College Park, Georgia, do hereby recognize the Water and Sewer Division for their efforts to continue to be heroes in providing clean drinking water to the citizens of the City of College Park, Georgia. Proclaim this 4th day of May, 2026. Mr. Lewis.
Oh, you threw me for a loop there. I just want to thank the staff, the Waterman Water guys. We work hard. Sometimes people don't even see us out there, but we be out there trying to keep the citizens with the water on. And, like Brian said, I love these guys. I've been around a lot of them for a long time, and some of them, is new. And, we for the citizens of College Park. Come on, Twan.
Like Tim said, I've been around here a long time. I appreciate each and every one of y'all. This is a team effort. We couldn't do it without y'all. Like Tim said, we for the citizens. We here to serve. That's all.
Okay, on three, and then tilt the blackboard. Good. 1, 2, and 3. Again, 1, 2, and 3. Last time, 1, 2, and
Thank you.
Next on the agenda, remarks of citizens. First speaker, Sabrina Willis.
Sabrina Willis, 1927, John Cavan Avenue. Okay. Sabrina Willis, 1927, John Cavan Avenue. Just want to say congratulations, Mr. Anderson. Congratulations on your team. But I guess a couple of weeks ago, our Councilwoman McKenzie had you at her town hall. And when I tell you, I was just so impressed about what he said, how he said it, about building up this next generation and making sure that they have the tools to be able to get those jobs. So keep doing what you do, and thank you all. The other thing is, I want to say that for over 20 years, we've been doing the College Park Favor Track Club. And this year we had over 100 kids to participate. But we had a lot of kids from the age from 2 to 15 years old. And we had over 40 kids to qualify to go to the GRPA state championship. But with saying that, we had one of our own, and seeing Tim up here a few minutes ago, his daughter actually won the 400 meter dash. So I just want to say congratulations to Milan Williams. Also, I don't like talking, but anyway, next thing, Congressman David Scott. I just want to say congratulations. Thank you all, Mr. Hicks, Mayor and Council, for doing what you all did to give the family the opportunity to have a few minutes to come back together and to say so many kind words about their loved one. That says a whole lot. But also to see the people in the room were very appreciative. And I don't know who did the initiative. Councilman Carnes, I tell you, that was you.
That was all him.
When I tell you, they were so appreciative. And I was actually there when Congressman Scott, you all did the naming of the bridge. But he was just so happy. Thank you all for giving him his flowers while he still lived. And I know that his journey and vision through you all And through that bridge, it's gonna bring more economic development to the city of College Park. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rex Willis.
Rex got a new look.
Yes, sir.
So we don't get it rusty.
Next.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Good evening.
As Sabrina said, it's so awesome to celebrate the athletes in College Park favor that represents their families, the city, and the coaching staff, and all the supporters, and the Recreation Department, Lance, who heads that. I want to start, I guess I'll start right here, with transparency. Sabrina brought up about naming the bridges. And God, I have a heavy heart to come here today. I really do. Like I said, when I come up here, I'm gonna say what's accurate, because if I lie, I'm ready to have to go to court for it. But Mayor Motley Broom, she didn't support naming the bridge, but every time she had the opportunity, she wanted to get up front, but she didn't want to name the bridge after David Scott. That's a fact. Come back, Mayor Motley Broom. I wonder why she been a little upset lately, but in transparency, she speak of that quite often. I remember a while back, she was so smitten with Councilman Tracy Arnold. And so a lot of Ward 1. But when Councilwoman Tracy Arnold stopped voting, then same way she did with Roderick, but she was Councilman Gay, because I want to keep everybody respect. Same thing with him. When she was against him, she was mad and aggressive, but then when she didn't like it, what he was doing, he was supporting what she wanted. Mayor Molly Broom, and I want to say this, she's about power. Power. In 2020, she was the mayor over the city CEO. But I want to tell y'all tonight, employees, hear me well. She's not the CEO. She's the mayor. If you want to worry about somebody, you better worry about Michael Hick. Bianca, she can't do anything to you but come talk to you. She don't do legislation unless the vote is tied. Understand that. So when she comes here, she's not Atlanta Mayor Dickens who can fire you and do anything else. She don't have that authority. So myself, years ago, I fought for the fire department to get a raise. I fought for Public Works to get a raise. I fought for the police department to get a raise. I have it on tape at the CPCA. Mayor Motley Broom didn't want to give Public Works, the fire department, the police department a raise, but 3%. I said, that's not no good. I can't. I said it at that meeting to her and at that time, City Manager Tyus. Well, we just can't do it. I said, well, it's not acceptable. I came before this right here, and I said then, if you can't have a safe city and people want to work here, and they're not taking care of who's going to come here? But fortunate enough, and the grace of God, the council voted to give Public Works, Fire Department, Police Department of Works. And I'm talking to not so many people here, because a lot of people's minds are already made up. Do you know, now she didn't have anything to do with this, but it's very important. Councilman Joe Carn, Tracy Watt fought for a lot of you all African Americans to be sitting in the seat that you're sitting in. I've been in the city 46 years. And you all didn't, it wasn't no African Americans. None. Zero. So I'm fought for the city, and by doing that, I take hits. But I'm gonna continue doing what I do and standing up, because that's who I am. But I have to say, the mayor, she's very deceitful, and I stand behind it, and it's the truth. She manipulates. She's not right. She don't fight for the city, but I'm gonna tell GMA. And she says she loves Vince. She does, because it's about relationships. But when I got a relationship with Jamel, Joe, or Tracy, it's a problem.
But she said her favorite mayor, Vince Williams, who she loved. Because when she came in here, he was the president, and just the best of my knowledge now, she's supposed to have been helping someone to mentor them. Next thing you know, she backstabbed them. Then she became the vice GMA. Then now she's the president GMA. I know 7 mayors. I'm friends with 5 in this state of Georgia. Mayor Motley Broom don't talk highly of City of College Park. I want you to hear me. I ain't talking about the citizens who's here now. I'm talking about the one who's coming here and who's going to be here. She don't talk positive about this city. She don't talk positive about the council setting up here. She don't talk positive about any city man except Tyus, who's all up her, talk with her all the time. But everyone that doesn't trot she likes, she don't like it. And those are facts. And I asked her last time, I didn't come here last month. I said, will you please work with, no, she been doing is undercover, sneaking like she run down to the state, so she can get power. She didn't get it. She lost all the lawsuits. So I'm asking the citizen, you see how she swaps and with Roderick and other people? At least you talk about Jamil, they don't swap and back and forth and all that. Joe, he stays the same. Tracy stays the same. But she doing the things she has to do for power. And that's what she wants. She want to go after city manager.
Thank you, sir.
I pray she can do better.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Karen Jeremy.
Hello, everyone. Please.
Hello, Dr. Jeremy.
Thank you. Please forgive my informal attire. I've been working really hard, rolling up my sleeves at the Historical Society, and that's what I'd like to talk to you about today. I'm Karen Jeremy, and I'm coming to you today as the president of the College Park Historical Society, as well as the president of the College Park Preservation and Historical Preservation Conservancy. And we are excited. We are so excited. We are at the point where we are now ready to do a rededication of the College Park Historical Society to the community of College Park, to the city. We will be having an open house on May 16th, 2026 from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the building. We invite you to come out to tour the building. There's going to be a rededication of the building. We're going to sprinkle some stuff to bring in good spirits, and we're going to have just a good time. We're going to invite you all to come in and explore local artifacts. We have uncovered some amazing things that have been a part of College Park history that it was the great job that the many presidents and members before me have put together. And so we're going to be sharing those within a display. And we also are going to be doing some historical presentations. And hopefully we will have words from presidents in the past who will greet us and talk to us about the journey of College Park Historical Society since 1978. In addition to that, I am very excited to let you know that we will be doing a ribbon cutting. We've been working for about 7 or 8 months behind the scenes, and we finally have a Main Street water fountain that's going to be placed right next to the train depot, and that's going to be a ribbon cutting for that at 1:15 p.m. And that particular water fountain will be in memory of the Flint River headwaters. So we're inviting the community to come out, share with us, fellowship with us, just take a walk down memory lane, and we are always seeking donations. Your donations are tax deductible as permitted by law, and so we welcome your donation to the Historical Society. If you've got some great stuff, we've gotten tools from 1750 to 1805. We have an entire collection that was gifted to us by a community member. We've got diplomas from Cox College that came to us. I just recently got a Lakeshore High School Lakeshore High School yearbook from 1960s. And so that's going to be on display. So we have just got some amazing, people have just been so generous and so supportive. And I want to continue to keep up the momentum. And I hope that we do you proud when you come and share with us at the open house.
Thank you.
You gave me your time? Thank you. I'd also like to talk about something else. As I come before you, I try to do it with an open mind, positive heart, and I try to share with you the best of me. But it has come to my attention that I am consistently being retaliated against by you, Bianca Motley Broom. And I'm not understanding it. I work very diligently. I work very hard for the city. People are questioning, what is she doing? And I hope that if you take a walk down Main Street, you'll see the beautiful baskets as part of the beautification part that was done by Destination College Park in support of Dr. McKenzie. We've also done a refurbishment of the platform that was done behind so that the citizens as well as visitors and staff can have lunch outside during the summertime. So the entire pavilion has been redone. We took up the debris that was there. There were old trees that were dying. So all of that has been recommissioned, redone, and re-envisioned. We're working on a beautiful tour. That I think that a lot of it will go throughout the city. And I have been working with Ward 1 to help position a mural so that people can come and they will be going to see the beautiful mural that was a pleasure to see in Ward 3. There's going to be the mural in Ward 4. As you go down my wonderful favorite place, Herschel Road, you're going to see some action in Ward 2. So we've been very, very, very busy through Destination College Park, through the Historical Society, as well as through the Conservancy. And not one time, ma'am, have you met with me. Not one time you're always pleasant when we see each other, and I appreciate that. And today I did not speak to you, and I apologize, but I'm so furious that there were 100 open record requests on Destination College Park as though I'm not working. And you know the work that I'm doing. Better than your minions that are on Facebook who attack me on the regular. Sometimes I go high, sometimes I go low, because I am human. And all I ask is that if you have a question, we don't always have to answer it in this public forum. You can walk to the Historical Society. You can walk to the train depot where I'm rolling up my sleeves, getting dirty, doing an amazing job in my mind, in the mind of many of people who have complimented me. And I'm open to speaking with you at any time. It doesn't always have to be in this open forum where you will ask gotcha moment questions. I am an open book. I am available.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Mayor, that is all for public comment.
If anyone wishes to speak and they did not have an opportunity to sign up, they can do so at this time.
Okay. Hello, Mayor.
Hello, Doc.
Good evening.
Council Member, Mayor Pro Tem. I'm elated and excited about so many things that are happening in the life of people in College Park. And I want to point out today that in College Park, we are providing and preparing to have our pedicab ambassador service rolling out for people. As you know, early in the month, last month I gave a report on the status of United Action for the Advancement of Humanity, as well as the Model City Initiative. And now, but I didn't speak about the pedicabs at all, and that was on purpose. The pedicab, the Ambassador Pedicab Service is all about promoting College Park, promoting the wonderful gifts. Many of the things that I'm sold out about here in College Park. And so anyway, we have put together, just to update you, we have put together a strategy plan, implementation strategy plan. We now have an administrator who will administrate the services and administrate the routes. So we have a plan in place to be ready to roll out our ambassador pedicab service by the time FIFA. The first day in June, we should be ready to roll out our service. We got our streets all routes mapped out. We have our pedicab license and insured. And now what we're looking for is pedicab, ambassador pedicab individuals to train and to be prepared to deliver the services. So we are building the city that we deserve. We have great assets, and we need to promote those assets throughout this metropolitan area. And so that's what we're prepared to do with the Model City Initiative, with our ambassador pedicab service. Our ambassadors, we're building the infrastructure to be like no other city in this metropolitan area and become that model city that people want to come and visit and see. How did y'all do that?
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, seeing none others, we'll move forward.
Next item, public hearing. 7A, public hearing to amend the city's 2025 redevelopment plan pursuant to OCGA 36-44-7.
Who's presenting?
I thought you were just going to open the public hearing, but I will say that essentially this is a public hearing to amend the plan. As you may be aware, we have amended the map twice. It was once in February and once in April. One amending the Old National Corridor, and the second amendment was to amend the 6 West redevelopment area. So amending the map doesn't necessarily amend the plan, and so state law requires us to have a separate amendment of the plan pursuant to following a public hearing. So this public hearing is to amend the plan, which plan amendment essentially encompasses the 2 previous map amendments we did earlier in the year.
All right, thank you, Mr. Denmark. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open. If anyone wishes to speak on the amendment of the city's 2025 redevelopment plan pursuant to OCGA 36-44-7, they can do so at this time. All right, seeing no one to speak, I will declare the public hearing closed.
Item 7B, public hearing for Inspire Placemaking Collective to give an update on the comprehensive plan.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, City Manager, City Attorney, City Clerk, and the residents of College Park. Tonight, we are hearing on an update with a public hearing for the comprehensive plan. It's the first public touch point, and the presentation will be by Inspire Placemaking Collective, along with questions and feedback from citizens.
Thank you. Can everyone hear me? I have a really soft voice.
If you could just make sure you keep your voice up, we should be
Okay,
good.
I'll keep going, but please stop me. Thank you all so much for your time today. As we're pulling up the presentation, I just wanted to emphasize how we went through a very competitive RFP process, and we were the ones selected, and I saw all of you on January 20th, so it's great to see you again. Thank you so much for your time. Waiting for this to kind of get started. I'm Eleanor Ortel. I'm the Deputy Project Manager. I've been doing work in Atlanta for the last 7 years. Nikisha Smith is our Project Manager. Megan Barrow is our community engagement coordinator. And Eric Redfeld is the lead of our Atlanta office, as well as the director of economic development for Inspire. We have offices across, you can go to slide 3, I believe. Awesome, this one's good, thank you. We have offices across the Southeast. We primarily do comprehensive planning and unified development ordinances. We also do redevelopment projects as well as development review. All of our clients are public sector. I've worked on numerous Atlanta metro comprehensive plans over the past 7 years. So I think we can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. For today, we're going to focus on what a comprehensive plan is, give a project overview. We're going to go over the timeline, some of the data and analysis pieces that we've been looking at, our tools and activities, as well as team responsibilities and stakeholders, and then we'll get into community feedback, next steps, and any questions or discussion. Would you all prefer when I'm asking questions, do you want me to leave it to the end, or can we have a dialogue? What's your preference?
We can leave it to the end.
Okay, great. All right, next slide, please. Thank you. All right. For those who are not familiar, a comprehensive plan really lays out a community vision for College Park. Really, this will be your guidebook. This is how you think about development, how you want to grow, and what does that look like. So this process is really important to define that vision and goal. It identifies the goals, where and how the city should grow and develop. It outlines areas to be preserved or protected. It identifies the next steps. We do a community work program. It's very implementable. It's very actionable. A lot of our staff actually at Inspire were previously at public sector roles, as well as in the shoes of the director of planning or director of economic development. So every time we think about doing a vision and turning it into actionable goals and items, we have a step-by-step process for that in short term and sometimes medium term as well as long term. And then we help prioritize and coordinate local decision making. And then this plan really provides guidance to landowners and developers as well. Next slide, please. Right. Thanks to the Georgia Planning Act of 1989, this is required every 5 years. It's really important. It actually, if you do not have a comprehensive plan adopted every 5 years, you could lose your qualified local government status, which is the key piece for getting grants and other funding, like the community development block grants, as well as water and sewer loans from the Georgia Environmental Finance Authority, economic development funding from One Georgia, and lots of others. So our deadline for this to be adopted is October 31st of 2026. So it is coming up very soon. You can go to the next slide. You guys have been doing substantial planning over the past decade, and what we do is we go through all of the previous efforts and we build upon them. We're definitely not starting from scratch, and we have a set list of requirements from the DCA, Georgia Department of Community Affairs, that we must adhere to. That being said, we can slide to the next slide. We'll get into the proposed timeline here. We kicked off in March with staff, and we've been working through our data collection and analysis. Tonight is our first public hearing. This is really to get everyone excited and also to inform the public, but anyone who is interested in providing feedback on how and when you can provide feedback, which is really exciting. We have a project website that has been launched, and we're gearing up for our steering committee meetings as well as our open house and really that core public engagement effort. On the next slide, we do have a pretty tight timeline on this, but we are doing really well thus far and on track to have a draft by the end of July. And then that draft is then given again to the public for any feedback. And then we will go into the state review and final revision stage. We want to leave ample time for this in the event that there may be necessary edits made. And it normally takes DCA at least 30 days with the adoption hearing at the end of October. Next slide. So we've been working on the data and collection and assessment of existing conditions. Like I said before, we did review all of the existing plans that you all have. but we also reviewed the community work program that was completed in 2021 and how you guys have made progress since the last comprehensive plan. And then we've gone into our data analysis, which we use lots of different sources, including the census, as well as Esri, business analyst, and lots of GIS analyses, as well as CoStar, which gives us real estate data. And then we dive into the pieces of the elements like transportation, environmentally sensitive areas. We're looking at historic and cultural resources, market conditions, parks and open space, and a big focus on existing land patterns and zoning designations. Just a couple of key takeaways from the analysis that we've been doing. First is that College Park is pretty built out and also has some pretty significant restraints from not only just the fact that you can't necessarily annex because there are lots of different jurisdictions in your borders, but also you cannot necessarily grow too high up in height due to the airport restrictions. And so your population has remained pretty stable, which is great. And thinking about growing into the future, it's about a 2.2% increase over the next 5 years as far as population. Your rentership was actually extremely high in early 2000, but it has since kind of balanced out a little bit. There's still a higher percentage of renters versus owners, but your ownership has increased substantially. And then additionally, one thing that really stuck out to us is the amount of different types of housing that you have offered within the city. Not only, I think it's around 26 or 27% single family, then it's around 26, 27% from 2 to 9 units, and then 10 plus units are about that same percentage. So you kind of have it evenly split. All right, next slide. So our data analysis really informs our public engagement and outreach. So today I'm just going to focus on these key points looking, we really want to get a broad public participation. That's really important to us, and that's part of the reason why we're here today, to speak to you all, to get some feedback on who we're engaging and how we're engaging. And then I have some outlines of kind of the roles and responsibilities, as well as this is kind of our process on feedback on what information will be gathered, on how information will be gathered, and feedback on engagement activities. Next slide. Awesome. Okay, so as Inspire Placemaking, we prepare all the materials and we facilitate all of the engagement. So that includes the steering committee meetings as well as the public meetings. We prepare materials for direct outreach, including emails, social media posts, flyers, press releases, and we monitor and update the website consistently, as well as do deep data analyses at the end of the engagement with the website. It has a really cool platform on the back end for us to use to gain critical insights. And then for the city staff, managing membership lists and sending notices for the steering committee meetings, as well as any direct outreach, helping us coordinate event details and publicity for these public meetings, as well as reviewing the content and publicizing the website. And then for City Council, we would really appreciate if you guys could help us promote and encourage community participation, follow progress of the stakeholder committee meetings, and share and publicize direct outreach, public meetings, and the website itself, and really serving as that sounding board. We really want you guys to be engaged with us and being a critical point of the process, so we appreciate your time. Moving on to the next slide. These are kind of the key places we want to make sure that we get feedback from you all tonight. So I'll just run through them, and then again at the end I'll ask if you have any additions to these lists. But in progress, we're about to kick off our engagement. So we have a list of our key stakeholder groups. So the first one is the government entities and agencies. We've got Mayor and City Council, thank you, and then the Fulton County as well as Clayton County Board of Commissioners, the Business and Industrial Development Authority, MARTA, the ATL Airport District Convention and Visitors Bureau, Airport West Community Improvement District, Airtropolis. On this list, we'll go to the next slide. We'll be engaging with additional business groups of College Park Main Street Association, as well as Old National Merchants Association. And then especially the special interest groups and organizations. This is something that we're really trying to gain insight to make sure that we're encompassing all of the wards equally and effectively. So that's one piece that we really want to gain insight from you all tonight. But we've got the HOAs of Princeton Village, the Links, Magnolia Walk, Hawthorne Station, as well as College Park Historical Society, College Park Youth Council, and Ignite. Next slide, please. And then lastly, we always identify maybe individuals who are less likely to participate in traditional organizations or through digital means. So one, we know that you have a strong multifamily community population. It's shown in the data, but we really use our data to guide our engagement. And so one of the key pieces of information we'd also like to get from you all is how to best reach this community and making sure that we are addressing every single ward equally and effectively as well. And then our senior population as well is something to think about how to best engage with them. All right, and next slide. So the way we engage has definitely changed over time. We've been doing a lot of different types of engagement. One is doing not only social media posts, but hosting on the website kind of short clips and videos of council members or stakeholders talking about the comprehensive plan and what's really exciting on the horizon. And that's been a really great way to engage with community members. The website that we host is through Social Pinpoint. It translates to over 15 different languages, which is awesome. And we host everything on that website, including the workshop calendar will be posted on the website. So we'll also have information and documents, as well as upcoming events and the survey and other activities, as well as there's a frequently asked questions section, which is really helpful for anyone wanting to engage and don't really know where to start. And then we'll have our social media post, the stakeholder committee meetings to guide the team's progress, as well as those in-person workshops that we've talked about. There are so many ways to do public engagement. Start with the meetings. We've done our kickoff meeting. We are doing our bi-weekly staff progress meetings, which are going great. And now we're diving into the steering committee meetings, the open houses. This is our first public hearing, and then we'll go to the adoption hearing. So that's kind of the schedule for community engagement. Next slide. As I was saying, there's lots of different ways we can solicit community feedback. Of course, some of the more traditional ones that you all are probably familiar with are the DOT exercises, as well as investment surveys. And these are pretty standard and pretty typical, but we definitely like to deviate from those and doing the photo and video spotlights, as well as making sure we do a complete SWOT analysis for the strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities and threats. We do a sticky note wall sometimes, and that's really engaging. We also have the capabilities to do virtual reality in the event that people are really excited about it. And last but not least, we love scenario mapping. This is really helpful. I think visual representations really help engage the public and get people really excited. I've done lots of different types of scenario mapping, especially for World Town Planning Day with children and kids, which, you know, they're the next generation, so having them involved is really critical, and that's a really great way to do that. We also always have children's activities too, some coloring worksheets and things like that that we bring to engage whoever's able to join us. Lastly, input into action. I just really want to highlight, not only do we do the data analysis and then the public engagement, we pull all of this together and we'll do meeting overviews, and we'll have a presentation on the summary of all of our engagement, as well as a summary from each engagement activities with key takeaways. And then in our appendix for the comprehensive plan, that's where everything will live, just so that the meat of everything that is deduced from the engagement will be in the core of the document. But anyone who's curious about looking further into the engagement, it'll be in the appendix in full form, so you'll see all of the data and analysis that went into it. And then we pull all of this into your community work program, which really serves as your kind of like leadership forward, and it has your goals and policies, how you want to implement, who's responsible for it, what the timeline is. This is very much required by DCA, but we kind of go an extra step, and we really have those step-by-steps for you all to make sure that this is able to be implemented. Nobody likes paying for a plan that sits on a shelf. Everybody wants to see this engaged, not only you all, but especially the residents as well, and us too. It's exciting to see things being built and on the ground. All right, next steps. Thank you for bearing with me tonight. So from here, I'd really like to encourage everybody listening, either online or in person today, to make sure they participate in the survey or any of our activities that we have online. Please attend our meetings. We'd love to hear from you. You're welcome to email me personally as well. And then sending any comments that you have to our team. We're happy to engage with you, and we want to, so please don't hesitate. And I'll just open it up for questions and discussion from not only you all, but also any residents that have any questions.
All right, thank you so much. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open. If anyone wishes to speak on this matter, they can do so at this time.
Madam Mayor, I have a couple of questions for me, or should I wait?
I'll get you, let the public, if they wish to speak. Yes, sir. If you could come to the microphone.
How long has this process of being engaging gone on so far?
Could you come back to the microphone? I'm so sorry, but our folks who might be watching
Sorry.
wouldn't be able to hear you.
So right now, this is the first step. So we have not done any public engagement, and we cannot do any public engagement required by state law until we have the public hearing, because we need everyone to know that this is going on. But we've been engaged with this process since March was our kickoff date for the project start.
So the second question is, how, well, I have a vision of a model city here in College Park, and there's others who are growing.
Can you approach the microphone?
Of the city of College Park becoming a model city. And I'm curious of how this engagement can help us realize our goal.
Absolutely, great question. So the comprehensive plan, really, it's that guidebook. So any vision that you have on what you would like College Park to be, I would be very interested in knowing and understanding that, so that I can make sure that there is consensus amongst residents that that is the path in which everyone wants to take. And then really, it is a adopted governmental document that basically says this is exactly what we're going to do and this is how we're going to get there, and that's how you get funding. And you want to make sure projects that you have upcoming are in the comprehensive plan. That way you can go after funding and potential opportunities. So really, I feel like it's the best way to move things forward in a direction from a local government perspective, is to make sure that the comprehensive plan is directly addressing the things that you believe needs to be addressed by the city.
There's a group of community people who have decided to join us in the Model City Initiative, and they've decided to be ambassadors and to take a pledge to support this city. And also it connects with Dr. King's dream about how all we supposed to live together. How can, or I be assured that our group could be participants in this process of community engagement?
Thank you so much. That's amazing. I think having organized civic groups is one of the key pieces of making sure that the needs of residents are not only seen but very much heard. So I would definitely pledge you all to not only engage with us during our meetings that we have that will be throughout the community and in person, but also to be a part of the survey. And if you guys are really interested and dedicated, we'd love to have you as ambassadors to make people excited about this effort and sending it to your friends and colleagues and making sure everyone is a part of it. We'd appreciate your support in that.
So now, what kind of contact information could I have so we can make it happen?
I believe, Hannah Hakis, there is a QR code, correct, on the table out there that does go to the survey. And then our website is up and running, and I believe you guys have more information. Okay.
Hannah, I'm sorry, Ms. Adiogan, I apologize, but if you can just make sure you're speaking into the microphone too.
I'm going to go get a business card so that you can reach out directly to us and we'll respond immediately. And anyone else that would like our business card, we'll give that to you as well.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
If anyone else wishes to speak, the public hearing?
Good evening, Honorable Mayor. Just to conclude, I just want to stress the importance of this for economic development. It is extremely important that you all as a board and as the citizens in the city participate in this process. There will be a website. We will be reaching out to the public through various events as our vendor has indicated to you all. So please, please, please pay attention. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact the Economic Development Department. Thank you.
Thank you so much. If anyone else wishes to speak at public comment or hearing, the public hearing? Hearing none others, I will declare the public hearing closed. Mr. Hicks?
Yes, just a couple of questions. Can we go back to packet page 145, the special interest groups and organizations? We asked that, we didn't see a representative from Ward 3, so we asked that Princeton Village be added. So I think the presentations probably need to be updated to reflect that. On the special interest groups and organizations, we want to add Ward 3.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, 1 second. I'm getting to, okay. So we have currently listed on this slide, we've got Princeton Village, the Links, Magnolia Walk, Hawthorne Station.
Councilmember Arnold?
Sure. We do have Princeton Village. We need to also include Yorktown, the subdivision, which also has an HOA.
Great, thank you.
Yes. We also have
Councilmember McKenzie?
Oxford Walk.
Oxford Walk.
That's a subdivision, HOA.
Okay.
They have an HOA.
I've got
Councilmember Carr?
few additions in. I got a comment.
Awesome.
I wasn't finished.
Oh, are you?
No,
Go
please,
ahead,
please.
Mike.
No, please.
Windsor Forest has an HOA, so we want to make sure we include them as well.
Awesome, I got that.
Mr. Hicks?
Ma'am, I stand corrected. I think your presentation is correct. The one that I have the TV up there. But the other question is,
Yeah.
the strategic goals.
Yes,
Can you
absolutely.
tell us how the strategic goals marry to the comprehensive plan? I'm not sure if we
Absolutely.
said deeply embedded, but please talk about that.
Yes, of course. Thank you, Mr. Hicks. Apologies, because I did actually star it, and then I was just on my own planet here while I was going through it. So when we do our plan review, we actually did a very in-depth dive into the strategic goals that you all have because you've done so much robust planning already. And what we're doing is we're pulling key pieces and making sure that we are aligning specifically with the strategic goals that you all have. That way, there are no potential misalignments or anything, that we are helping you all approach the goals that you've already sent. The strategic plan is very much an internal document for you all, but having it in the comprehensive plan and having it being referenced, as well as having the supporting not only data but goals and policies. It will help push the strategic plan forward as well as the comprehensive plan. So that's how we'll be engaging with it.
Thank you.
And we've done a full matrix of it too. So if you guys are interested in seeing that, we've pulled everything out, and yeah, it's really great.
I got a
Councilmember Carn?
couple of things here. I saw on one of your pages where you had stakeholders that may be less likely to participate, and multifamily communities was one of them. I'm glad you realized that that was an issue. You know, a lot of the times when we do these things, we get the same set of people.
Of course.
And so we get the same idea and the same mindset. So we want to get a much broader view of opinions here. The other thing is, well, you're not really including all of the wards equally or evenly for starters.
Okay.
Obviously, at a minimum, you would need 4 meetings, as there are 4 city council wards, if you weren't aware of that. They're not 3. And that's a good start. But I would also suggest that you coordinate these community open house meetings with the 4 council members in our planned community meetings for proper coordination. Additionally, our city is about 78% rental. We're mostly apartment complexes. And generally, when we have comp plans and things like this, the majority of the residents are shut out and don't get to put in their 2 cents. So what you want to do with your team is probably all of our complexes pretty much do. And when I say all of our complexes, I'm talking about 18, 19 complexes, just the major ones, the larger ones. When I say larger, I mean 80 units and over.
Okay.
All of those complexes do some type of an email blast or text blast that goes out once monthly. So your job is going to be to reach out to those 19 major complexes and make sure that you get with those managers and make sure that those meetings are going out a couple of times within that month, that you coordinate the community meeting with the proper council member. Does that make sense?
Absolutely, 100%.
And as far as the mayor, all of our meetings are mayor meetings. It's one city.
And I do actually have, I'm sorry, I apologize.
There was one other thing I had here. Let me get if I can find my page. Oh, you mentioned on the in progress page, you mentioned about something about some units and data with that in progress slide. I couldn't hear what you.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. My voice is quiet. So I actually have not given this to staff to review yet, so you guys will see it once it's been reviewed. But we do a pretty comprehensive existing condition summary. And so some of the key pieces that when I was looking through it, I actually started my career doing market analyses for a firm here in Atlanta, and I did that for 3 or 4 years, specifically doing economic development, so I love numbers. When I was looking at it, one of the key things that stood out to me is that, I mean, the metro is growing and growing and growing, and yet College Park has had a very stagnant population, very stable, and part of that is just 1, your land is built out, but 2, you do have a lot of restrictions and restraints from a land use perspective, especially with having the airport, having height requirements and use requirements closer to the airport, as well as having not any room to, annex, because you do have cities on all sides of you, as well as a county boundary. So there are definitely some limitations in that. So having growth be very strategic is important. Like, kind of, where do you want to grow? Do you want to grow residents? Do you want to grow employment? Do you want to grow? Do you want to make sure that the people who are living here can stay here and live here long term? Do you want to increase home ownership? Those are some of the things to think about with this effort. And then I mentioned also the housing units. So I have 2024 housing types, it's the ACS 5-year estimates. So single family, you have 29.6%, single family detached. Thinking townhomes for single family attached is 0.8%. Then 2 units, 0.5%. 3 or 4 units is 10.4%. 5 to 9 units is 24.7%. And then 10 to 19 units is 19.4%. 20 or more units is 14.6%. So you have a pretty equal split depending on how you break those down. When I look at data, it's normally single family in its own category, then 2 to 9 units, which serves as that middle housing range, and then 10 plus units, which those are the larger communities, larger apartment complexes that you were mentioning. And then I believe the last thing I mentioned was your rentership and how it has changed since 2000. You've increased your homeowner occupancy, which is great, as well as seen a pretty substantial decrease, but you still have a high rentership population, which is great, but you just need to target the engagement opportunities. And I appreciate your feedback, everyone tonight, on how to best engage it, because we definitely don't want it to be unequal, and we are doing our best, and that's why we want to talk tonight, is how can we really approach making sure that each ward gets the attention that it deserves. And the email list is great. I didn't know that every apartment complex had one, so we'll definitely be in touch with staff on getting that moving forward, which will be great. They probably knew that, I probably didn't. And then any additional places or maybe community spaces or your specific council meetings that you have with your ward, we'd love to be there. We'd love to engage, so I appreciate it. Is that helpful?
And, yeah, I appreciate all that. And being stable, I mean, is relative.
Yeah,
It
it
is.
is.
Only in terms of population growth, yes.
Absolutely.
But stability for us is a different equation.
Absolutely.
With a transient population, I mean, some of our schools have a mobility rate annually of upwards of 70%,
Mhm.
as opposed to an average school at 15 to 20%. So it's some different dynamics here, and you got some great stats, but I don't know if you've taken some time. It'd be good maybe to sit with some residents and drive this city and really get a little more in-depth understanding of what the numbers may not show you.
Absolutely. That is our goal. We always like to pull the data, but it only says one side of the story. So making sure that we are capturing the actual lived experience is really critical, because I can look at numbers all day, but they don't actually tell you like the full experience and lived experience. I think growth is definitely relative. I think having a stable and sustainable population is actually awesome. I've worked in a lot of communities where infrastructure is a really big problem because they're growing too fast. So
I think overall, this is for the people.
yes.
This is for our community to make sure that we are headed in the right direction, and we want to make sure that we have as much input as possible to gain as much, as full of a vision
Absolutely.
for our community. And I'm excited about the effort. I think one HOA we did not mention was South Park Cottages.
Okay.
They have an HOA as well. And I know that my colleagues hold town hall meetings. I also hold quarterly town hall meetings. I know Councilmember Karn discussed that, but we want to make sure that everyone is covered, that we are including all of our stakeholders. And I think our residents are primary. We have a lot of other people who support this city, and our educational leaders, our business owners who may not be a part of Main Street or Old National, but are still working day in and day out to contribute to this community. I'm thinking of folks over at Jamestown, the folks that have businesses off of Camp Creek, that we want to make sure that no matter where folks are in the city, they are touched by this, because ultimately we want them engaged because this is for them and it should be by them.
Absolutely. We appreciate that.
Councilmember Arnold?
Okay. I actually, as I was reading the list here, I had another area that needed to be included on your list, which is Jones Circle.
Okay.
Which is inclusive of several senior citizens that may have mobility issues but want to participate. And then I also noticed that when we were looking at some of the stakeholders or governmental entities and agencies, we don't have the airport chamber, which I think is an
That's a good point.
organization that we definitely need to have on this list. There are also some other nonprofits, and I can make sure that I provide it to Mr. Hicks
That would be
so
great.
that we don't belabor the point that we just need to make sure that we're a little more inclusive of organizations that are supporting the city. Okay? Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Councilmember
I have,
McKenzie?
yes, yeah. I've got two organizations that I would like for you all to add as stakeholders. One is our HCPNA, which is our Historic College Park Neighborhood Association. That will bring out, and perhaps you guys can even do something with them at one of their meetings. And also Destination College Park, which works with marketing and businesses throughout the city. Some of those businesses in the Camp Creek area, some of those that were mentioned by the mayor. So, and of course, Ms. Karen Jeremy, she was already here, very, very involved in what's going on. So those two, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you all.
One last thing, I guess, I didn't see the Old National Merchants Association.
It's
right here on
It's
the
there.
in progress,
Okay.
it's right there.
Good, yeah, okay, well, that's there. My district is kind of funny where there's no really centralized meeting place, so I may need two stakeholder meetings.
Absolutely. We can work with you.
Keep that in mind. All right, that's all I had.
Anything further? All right, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you all for your time. We're really excited to be here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very nice, very, very good.
Next.
Madam Clerk, let's give us one moment so we can see if we can, okay, Mr. Curry says that we're good on the microphone, all righty.
We did it.
Next is consent agenda. Item 8A, consideration of an action on a request to approve the purchase of office furniture from Affordable Interior Systems under the state Georgia contract in the amount of $27,836.42. This item is requested by A.B. Woldahana, city engineer. This is a budgeted item. Funding will be charged to contractual services. GL account 115-7552-6170, fiscal year 2025 to 2026. Item 8B, consideration of an action on a request for approval of ball field lights for Zepp Park from Gresco as a sole provider at a cost of $47,542. This item is being requested by Hugh Richardson, Director of Power. This is a budgeted item, fiscal year 2026. The fund is Other System Improvements, GL account number 510-4600-547850. This item will service Ward 3. Item 8C, consideration of an action on a request, pardon me, wrong way. Consideration of an action on a request to approve the purchase of a 2026 GMC Sierra 3500 HD 3500 flatbed truck from Hardy Automotive Fleet Group under the State of Georgia contract to replace unit number 287 in the amount of $62,148.04. This agenda item is being requested by Highways, Streets, and Stormwater Superintendent Raymond Cotton. This is a budgeted item, fund, general funds, fiscal year 2025 to 2026, GL account 100-4200-547590. This will service all wards 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
9 is regular business. 9A, consideration of an action on a request to approve and execute a drainage easement access for the maintenance, repair, and replacement of a drainage area on city-owned property or sale of the property. This item is being requested by City Planner Lenise Lyons.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second.
City Manager?
Councilmember Carn?
I may bring up a motion to reconsider, if Ms. Lyons has some additional information that she wanted to explain this to everybody, if,
We just didn't get the information.
yeah, I saw this thing here.
Councilmember?
Is this time sensitive?
The purchaser or the developer that wants to make the transaction is here tonight, that can speak more to it. What was provided in the packet was a previous leak drainage easement agreement that was drafted by our city attorney. But there are two options that Mr. David Birch, who's here on behalf of the property, would like the council to consider. One is to either grant the drainage easement or to sell the property to him for the maintenance of the stormwater area. So I've spoke with our city engineer, A.B. Woldahana, and he's presented his recommendation for the two options. The option one is the preferred sale of land, recommending that the city consider selling the land containing the pond to the property owner. This would transfer all responsibility for maintenance, inspections, and liability directly to the owner. Or option two, this is granting access. Alternatively, the city could grant an access easement. This would allow the owner to maintain the facility in support of city stormwater goals and prevent flow issues at Camp Creek.
Well, I make a motion that we discuss first and then reconsider that agenda item, being that someone's here. If it's some, doesn't seem like major changes, I'd like to hear from them. If
Yeah, he's here, Mr. Birch. David Birch is here representing the property owner.
There's been a motion.
Okay.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote.
What was the motion?
City Clerk.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, Madam Mayor. The motion was Mayor Pro Tem Carn motion to discuss and reconsider this agenda item, was seconded by Councilman Gay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Oh, Mr. Birch.
And I have, nice to see you all again. Sorry to interrupt your meeting.
Can you introduce yourself for the record, please?
Yes, my name's David Birch. I'm representing the property owner, or the property here, the Camp Creek parking lot, we call it. I have surveys, if I can just share them with the council, because I want to show how really de minimis this is. Y'all don't, frankly, I don't think y'all want to spend your time on it. At the end of the day, long ago, the property lines between our property and the city right-of-way that is between our property and Camp Creek Parkway was somehow subdivided, replatted, we're not sure, and a small portion of the property where the stormwater pond exists was put on the city property, or it was built incorrectly when it was built 11 years ago. We didn't own it, and we do not know. All we need is just I think for all of us, it's cleaner if we just buy the property from the city. I circled it in red or shaded it in red on that survey. It's less than 1/10 of an acre. It's on the side of a hill. The city has no use for it. We would pay appraised value, which the city attorney could procure. We'd do it very easily and quickly. You guys don't need to spend time on it. It's a tiny piece of property on the side of the hill, but it's causing an issue for us as owners and property owners and business owners in the city of College Park. We'd appreciate your consideration. I'm happy to answer any questions you have.
Councilmember McKenzie?
Well, I guess my issue was just that I didn't have the information ahead
Yes,
of
ma'am.
time. So it wasn't that I'm against this, but I don't like to make a decision when I haven't had a chance to review it. So I don't have any questions at this time because I need to read over this.
Councilmember Carn?
All right, this is the one over, it's the one over by Lakemont, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hey, you guys been sending me emails every which way, every
I've
couple
been
of
trying to
months?
get in touch. Yes, sir.
Yeah, I hadn't responded. I I'm fine with it. This is Councilman Gay's area, and if he was okay with it, I mean, I'm fine with it. Winston, so you drafted this thing here, or did you take a look at this?
Not for this item.
Okay, this says recorded and returned to Denmark. So this is, I guess, you drafted-
So
you
a
drafted
colleague of Mr. Denmark's and I had discussed an easement in the past, and I think that ultimately this is probably simplest for both if it's just a sale, but we can do either.
Well, I'm fine with it. I'm assuming you talked to Councilmember Gay about it. It's his ward, so if he's okay with it, I'm fine with it. But I did see the emails. I just didn't pay much attention. I talked to somebody. I said, well, you. No, I saw somebody at one of the meetings. Was that you?
Yes, sir.
Somebody? Okay. Yeah, I just said, talk to him about it and whatever, you know. I know it was just a little add-on piece there to swap with Atlanta or whatever. So if he's okay with it, I'm fine with it.
All right, thank you, sir.
Councilmember Arnold?
As my colleague mentioned earlier, I'm just getting the information. I haven't read through it. The first time that I saw it was laying here on the dais. I would like to at least read through it and see if I have questions before I make any action.
Sure.
Councilmember Gay?
I'll give some background. I think they're asking to buy the retention pond, sir. I'm just talking. It's gonna be a question, but first it's a comment. I'll start over. I'll give a little perspective, because I've talked with the owner and the city attorney, Butch. This easement, you're asking to purchase the easement. That's what the owner's asking, to purchase the easement. The retention pond. He's calling it an easement.
You want me to answer that?
Yeah.
Well, when we discussed it, initially we had requested an easement. And then, because of the time-sensitive nature of what we were trying to get accomplished, we offered to pay for the easement. And then we decided, when you and I discussed it, we discussed, would it be simpler to just buy?
No, I offered you to buy it.
Okay, there you go. So that's what I'm totally happy with that.
Yeah, but I just want my colleagues to have some perspective as well as the city attorney, because apparently he doesn't have any information about it. All I'm just trying to tell you is that this is a retention pond that he seeks to buy. He's calling it an easement, but it's a retention pond that holds the water from this Imperious parking lot. Okay? So let's just call it what it is. He wants to purchase the retention pond. The owner wants to refinance his property, and he can't refinance it because somebody a long time ago drew a survey, drew a property line through the easement. Half the easement is in Asa, and the other half is in East Point. So he can't get refinancing because the bank says we need the just like 6 West. We don't want any liens incumbent on the property. It has to be lien free. So they're looking at this as a lien. So that's why he wants to purchase it. My only issue would be that I would like for AB to look at it, to just make sure that the retention pond is adequate. There's no issues with it currently. Secondly, my other option would be, and this is not consequential, but this is a problem. If y'all ever driven down down Camp Creek to Washington Road, okay, I used to call Josh Butler about this every Sunday. This is not consequential to this purchase, but it is worth mitigating. The owner allows for box trucks and other large trucks to park outside of the fence, which I don't like I don't like these trucks at that intersection. So I've called over and over and over, and he says East Point don't allow these trucks, and I'm not aware that they're being parked there. So the owner is an absent owner that's not aware that these large trucks are parking. My only consideration would be if we're going to make concessions to you all, and those trucks are still parked there. I was looking at them all this weekend, last weekend. But if you want us, at least for me, to be considerate of you all to get refinancing, you should be considerate of those trucks that are not part of East Point's, right? So I still think the city attorney needs to look at it and draw a purchase sales agreement if we're gonna do it.
You want me
We've
to-
done it before, we did it for Jordan property we sold an easement for like $65,000.
We can rush into doing something that we're not sure of, or we can let the city attorney have a crack at it.
Is it time sensitive?
It is somewhat time sensitive, but, I mean, 30 days is fine with us, if that's a reasonable period of time.
Could probably get it on the next agenda.
Yeah, but Councilman, you made a point with those trailers. I don't think anybody wants that. If that's what you're planning on doing, I think.
If I can address
you might
that.
wanna Turn that herd around.
So we have two tenants on the property. One is an airport daily parking operator, the other is Six Rental Car. Neither of them are allowed to park trucks. When we bought the property, we were very aware that truck parking is not allowed in this zoning. And so to the extent they're doing that, they're not doing it with our permission. The city could cite them. I mean, we can have our property manager try to police it better, but the airport parking operator has their booth at the front, down at the bottom of the hill. Bottom line, they're not doing it with our permission, they're not doing it with our knowledge, frankly, and we will do what we can to try to prevent it.
I'd like to offer a substitute motion that we just table this till the next meeting.
There's no substitute motion.
I don't.
Hold
I
on,
don't have a problem
hold on,
tabling
wait.
it, But we need to get some stuff worked on.
Hold on,
Okay.
wait, hold on, wait, please, just one at a time. Councilmember McKenzie has made a motion to table this until the next meeting. Is there a second?
Well, I'm going to add on to that with whatever the revisions or adjustments that Councilman Gay and Councilman Carn are requesting.
Second.
Hold on. Madam Clerk, you got that?
Yes, Madam Mayor.
Okay. He said that.
Hold on, give me one moment here.
Oh, my bad.
Is there a second?
I already said second. Yeah.
She seconded.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. And there's always discussion. Councilmember Gay.
No, I didn't say I was opposed. I just wanted to provide y'all some information. And he said that 30 days he thought would be okay. I don't want to table it and no more action.
Right.
I want to table it and he get it to legal and let them look at it and then get AB to make sure that there's no issues from the retention part. But there's one other thing y'all want to consider, especially Councilman Cohen. They also have an easement out on Camp Creek, right? And it's not kept up. That easement isn't kept up. You know that big easement right out front? That's theirs. I think that we're gonna do this, city manager. That may be a responsibility. They keep that one up.
I don't know what you're referring to.
Sir? That easement on Camp Creek and Washington Road. That's not yours?
Do you mean, I'm not sure, I don't think so.
Oh, well, who owns it?
There's a gas station at the bottom of the hill, and
No, it's after you pass, your apartment. It's right after the apartments.
yeah, we don't own the
There's a
apartment.
huge easement. I don't know, maybe it's not, whose easement is it?
Any for Councilmember Carn?
Just let AB look at it.
Yeah, let's.
And just to be clear, part of our goal with this is to clean up the pond. The pond is when we bought the property, it didn't even show up on our survey because it's so overgrown. So it's actually it's presumably not functioning the way it should be to help that drainage. So part of our goal here is to get legal total access to it so we can clean it up, so it operates properly.
Councilmember Carn?
And that's great. I'm glad you're gonna clean up the pond, but I think what he's referring to is, looks like you have frontage. Is this Camp Creek Parkway here? You have some frontage along Camp Creek. And then I see, yeah, he's talking about some frontage either along Camp Creek or along
Yeah.
Washington Road,
On-
that corner.
On Camp Creek, that big pond out there.
Right. So at the bottom of your project, I guess. Well, first, now, you're not the owner, are you?
I was the owner, and I'm currently dealing with the owner. We're kind of working together to get this taken care of.
Okay. So who's parking the trucks? That's the first question.
I have no idea.
Okay, well, you're gonna have to find that out because we don't want the trucks parked there. You said you were part owner or was the owner. So,
Now, I just want to be clear where they're parking, because if you look at this survey, this is Washington Road. We own a very small strip here where there's a drive aisle with a gate for the parking. There's an older gas station just adjacent. We don't control and there's a good bit of area there. If they're parking there, we don't control that. If they're parking on this hill going up to the parking lot, we do control that, and we will keep them from doing it.
And he may be
wanna-
right,
wait.
it may be outside.
I think this is all an opportunity for staff to figure this out. The trucks are not central to the issue of that little red shaded part, but having just received this because it wasn't in the packet, if we're working to try to do the best interest of the community, I think it's imperative that everyone have an opportunity to review the information. So, any further
Okay.
discussion?
Yes.
Councilmember Carn.
since we are working for the best of the community, the trucks are essential. That's a concern, and I don't think we want them parked there on that corner. So that is a concern. Also, if you heard him correctly, along that frontage area, maybe there needs to be some, taking care of that frontage, or maybe there needs to be some kind of buffer, maybe some, row of shrubbery or something to make it look like something there along that bottom or something. But take
so-
it back, city manager, just get with engineer and take a look at it and see how we could make it right. Maybe you guys have a drive out there and just take a look at what exactly.
I made a note for AB to
Okay.
take a look at.
All right, okay.
And also, we need
Councilmember McKenzie?
city attorney to go over the documentation and for your review as well.
Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Councilmember Carn? What did you vote?
I said aye.
Thank you. That's unanimous.
Agenda item 9B, consideration of an action on a request to approve the ordinance adopting the Metropolitan North Georgia Water Planning District Model Ordinance on local drought response and water waste is prepared by staff to comply with regional water resources management plan requirements. This item is being requested by Timothy Lewis, Water and Sewer Superintendent.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 9C, consideration of an action on a request to consider the adoption of local amendment to Plumbing Code Metropolitan North Georgia Water Planning District efficiency to adopt an ordinance finding that based on local climatic, geographic, and public safety factors, it is necessary to adopt water efficiency standards more stringent than the Georgia Plumbing Code. This item is being presented by Timothy Lewis, Water Superintendent.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 9D, consideration of an action on a request to approve a resolution to amend the city's redevelopment plan. This item is sponsored by Mayor Pro Tem Joe Carn.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
I have discussion.
Councilmember Arnold?
Earlier, the city attorney said that we didn't go through this exercise before when we amended the map to include the area of Godby Road, but we did. We went through the same thing.
To amend the plan?
We did.
Yeah, I see in my notes that there was a plan resolution on March the 23rd. But since that March 23rd meeting, we passed ordinance 26-10 on April the 6th, and that amended the map in regards to the 6 West area. And so now we have advertised this plan amendment on the 22nd of April and on the 29th of April in a legal organ. And so we've completed the advertisement. And so this would bring all of our previous map amendments into the plan, which to this point we have not, because the March 23rd plan amendment did not encompass the April 6th resolution that expanded the 6 West area.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Item 9E, consideration of an action on a request to approve the most responsible and lowest apparent bidder, Atlanta Paving Concrete for ITB 26-44, repaving parking lot and streets, GICC, in the amount of $1,393,245.24. This is a request from Mayor Pro Tem Joe Carr, and this is a budgeted item, fiscal year 26, from the TPD Fund, GL account 275-4975-526-300. This item will service Ward 2.
Mr. Hicks, how much was budgeted for this? That was my question that I didn't get answered.
I believe the total budget was 2.5 million for TPD.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Carn. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 9F, consideration of an ordinance to amend Chapter 4 Animals and Fowl of the city's Code of Ordinances to update dangerous dog regulations. This item is sponsored by Councilman Roderick Gay.
Mayor,
Is there a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we not adopt this ordinance, but that we revise the ordinance pursuant to state law and bring it back.
Is there a second? Motion dies for lack of a second.
Madam Mayor, if I might,
Mr. Denmark?
sure. I want to point out that the state has already essentially adopted regulations that are set forth in the proposed ordinance amendment. And so the state has essentially preempted the area, so it is questionable whether our current ordinance is viable in the face of what I would consider to be superseding state legislation. And so I know there was some concern expressed about regulating dangerous animals not based on breed, but rather based on the propensity of that individual dog or the actions of individual dogs. But that's already the lay of the land that the state of Georgia has ushered in. And so I think Councilman Gay is indicating that our ordinance should reflect what the state has already done, but whether it does or it doesn't, the state is the state.
I'll make a substitute motion. There is already state law. I don't think how this was written, it took that in consideration. All I'm saying is that why don't we have an ordinance that reflect state law? Because our ordinance on its face is void.
Councilmember, can you restate your motion just so, for clarity's sake?
Yeah, but before I do, let's talk about if you were to get bitten by a dog, and the people hearing this on the record. So the ordinance that we have currently is void on its face because the state has already issued an ordinance, and state law supersedes city law. So what I'm saying is, when they put this ordinance together, when the mayor asked, has the state already, he didn't answer, but there's already state law. So I'm just simply saying, revise the ordinance pursuant to state law, and then we would be legal on all fours, because right now, there are dogs that have been bred by the AKC and the CKC that they didn't even exist when this ordinance was written. So then if somebody's dog were to bite you, they'll say, well, guess what, guys? You only picked 3 dogs that somebody did 20 years ago. So the best practice would be to just adopt the ordinance according to state law. That would be the best practice for anything we do up here.
Councilmember Carn?
Well, first, we don't know at all if our ordinance is void or not, actually. But we can get an opinion from legislative counsel in regards to it. Now, I haven't seen the language of the state ordinance. If it specifically outlaws dangerous dogs, then that's a whole nother story.
Hold on.
We can.
Let him finish. Let him finish.
I would suggest we get a.
Councilmember, just let him finish, please, and I'll acknowledge you.
My suggestion is that we get an opinion from legislative counsel any of us legislators can get us an opinion on that, just see where it's at.
Councilmember, I'm sorry.
If it does not void our ordinance, then, you know, we would need to start to enforce our ordinance if it is legit. But,
Well, there's only,
Hold on one second. I don't think he's finished.
yeah, I'm done.
there's only
Councilmember
been-
Gay?
From what we're hearing, there's only been one enforcement, period. So we're doing a really poor job at enforcing it in the first place. Second is, I remember a meeting with Ambrose one day in executive session, right, Tracy? And we were talking about the soccer field. And he spent about an hour down there yapping about the soccer field. And so Ambrose doesn't work here anymore. He's gone. And there are thousands and thousands of children who's playing on that soccer field. So I just want to point out that oftentimes you don't legislate because the mayor liked it on her pre-council meeting. You don't preempt it because you got an attitude, because we work for the people. And if you don't have the business acumen or intelligence or common sense to legislate that, you don't get that state law is state law. I've sent it all to you all before this council. You refusing to read it doesn't negate the fact that it's there. Now you want us to vote on 1,393,000 because you have the votes. You want to vote on another 800,000 because you have the votes. So I guess I'm trying to say to you is, it doesn't matter to me, but because if that ordinance is void on its face, you should ask the city attorney to look at it before you obligate the legislative council to look at it, because that's why we pay him. And secondly, if after tonight, now that it's been public to the record, you have dogs that are not even now classified that have been bred since this ordinance. Look at the Cane Corso. Is he not dangerous? So if he bites somebody, if I was the attorney, I'd say, well, guess what? College Park only cares about a Doberman, a Pit Bull, and a German Shepherd, because you refuse to be open-minded and that you're basing it on emotions and attitude and the power of a block vote than common sense. And that's all I have to say.
Councilman Gay, I'd like to respond to that.
Councilmember McKenzie?
I beg to differ with Councilman Gay's speaking just now. My concern with this issue has nothing to do with really determining whether classifying dogs. Mine has to do with the look, first of all, our city saying that a dog will not be considered dangerous until it bites somebody. So it's not about the classification. What I would like to see done, actually what I'm requesting is that, my question to the attorney was, so are we saying that no dogs are going to be registered in the city of College Park? And because we were having persons to register their dogs because they were considered dangerous dogs. The problem that we have still is that how do people even know what makes a dog a dangerous dog if you're a dog owner? So everything that we're looking at right now does not address the issue of our citizens who have dogs being aware of what is required for any dog. Forget about classification. For any dog in the city of College Park, if it's a little small terrier and it starts biting and it's ferocious, which is what I've experienced from small dogs and seen people bit in this city on Herschel Road. So what I would like to see, what I'm suggesting is I don't want to remove the process of dogs being registered in the city, because there needs to be some way that dog owners become aware of what is required for them as dog owners and what will cause their dog to be considered a dangerous dog. This legislation that we're looking at is weak in that all it is, I don't get it. It just looks like we're saying the dog bites somebody, they become dangerous, which is fine. But we still need to know what dogs, and I've talked to City Manager Hicks, because even in the dog park, he's working on a QR code. When a person, when you come into that dog park, you will be scanning your dog, and that dog needs to be registered in the city of College Park. So what do we do with that? So I'd like to see a system that all dog owners in the city of College Park are aware of the requirements. If we're going to remove the classification of dangerous dogs, I don't have a bone to pick. I don't have a dog in that fight. My concern is that we still need to know what we have in our city, and our dog owners need to understand. You purchase a house in the city, and you understand when you purchase that house what the requirements are. Well, the same thing should go for our furry fellas, especially the ones that are known to bite. And especially if there's an ordinance that says if your dog gets to a certain point, your dog is going to be considered a dangerous dog. Every person needs to know. So that's where I'm coming from, Councilman Gay. It's not about it's not about emotionalism. It's not about blocking somebody. It's not about. I really have an issue when we try to talk about unified votes being considered block votes. Just because two or wait, no, let me finish. I'll let you talk. When we talk about the fact that persons up here may agree, when you use the term block voting, which has been done in the city of College Park prior to my arrival here, okay? That means that a group of people have gotten together and decided that this is what we're going to do as a block. The fact that everyone here, or 3 members or more, may have the same opinion, 3 elected officials or more may have the same opinion or the same finding on an agenda item does not infer that it is block voting. And every single person sitting up here, especially the 3 that are being accused of this, are all intelligent individuals who make our own choices. I don't work for anyone up here except for the people of Ward 1.
Madam Clerk, how many people have registered their dogs?
I would have to check my files for an accurate account. Recently, since I have been employed here, December of 2024, only 1 individual has registered their dog.
Councilmember Gay?
So, couple things. OCGA 4821 defines dangerous dogs and various dogs based on behavior, including unprovoked attacks and injury. I'm putting this to the record, by the way. OCGA 4823 establishes the formal investigation and classification process of dogs. Let me just go to the end of it. The current city ordinance contains vague and ambiguous language in that it may fail to clearly define what constitutes a dangerous dog. The state has already preempted the state law. This is a moot point. I don't even know why we even arguing it. It's moot. Kelly, I don't even know why it matters because the state has already weighed in that that the state law does not classify dogs by breed. That's what they do to us as people of color. They classify us by our behavior, our breed, our race. Dogs got it better than we have. The legislature have decided that you don't classify them by breeds. The law is clear. So why are we even arguing about it? And I don't want to make assumptions, but I'm the one that was called today. And I'm the one that was told that it was not even read until the mayor weighed in. So if we're going to call it, let's call it what it is. I don't have a problem sitting up here taking the arrows. But we never thought in a million years this would become an issue. I mean, we just thought this was just like the least of your worries. So, Councilmember Corn, this is a state law. So, Kelly, whether they vote on it, be mute, be silent, it doesn't matter. It's already state law.
Councilmember Carn?
City Attorney, I didn't see the state bill. It wasn't in this packet. I didn't see it in this packet. Now, if the state law says we cannot classify based on species specifically, if it says that no city can do that, and it prohibits that, that's one thing. And again, classification, we want to have some type of a regulation. Now, if we expand our regulations with other species, if that's still allowed, okay. The ordinance that we have, we need to enforce it, and we need to actually do those things between our public works dog catcher. A lot of these dogs are in our apartment communities, and the managers know that they're there, but they're not aware of the rule. So we need to, enforce it if it's still enforceable, if it's still legal. And if we do have to make some changes, we may adjust it where it's, not based on species.
Right.
We may adjust it, based on weight of the animal, possibly. I mean, so there's some other alternatives or whatnot, but I like to see the state bill and just get an opinion there and
Madam Mayor.
see,
Mr. Denmark?
So the state law, it's codified in OCGA 4-8-22. That's the provision I'm looking at. But essentially, it establishes the standards based on the actions of a specific dog. There's no provision that says cities cannot enforce their ordinance, but it says that indirectly. It just preempts what we're doing because it establishes this new method of regulating dogs, and then it says that
Mr. Denmark, how new is that?
I'm sorry?
It's 2012, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The governing authority of each local government shall designate one or more individuals as dog control officers to aid in the administration and enforcement of the provisions of this article. So essentially, the state has created a scheme, and it says that you local governments, you're gonna designate somebody to enforce what we just enacted. So in so saying, we can't enforce theirs and ours if those are diametric, if they're different, if they're incompatible. So ours conflicts with the state, and the state have said, you're gonna designate somebody to enforce what we got. So we can't enforce what we got. So I mean, it's, the state is literally the big dog, and they preempted this area.
Point of
Okay,
order.
so
what I'd like to
Councilmember
say
Arnold, Councilmember
is
Arnold,
that-
Councilmember
okay.
Arnold,
Okay.
what's your point of order?
My point of order is that I would like to move for us to take this information, we table it, have the attorney to look at our ordinance, look at, you shaking your head, no.
It's not a point of order. You're making a motion.
I am making a motion.
Okay.
I call point of order so I can make a motion.
But the-
So
but the point
I'm
of-
speaking.
I understand,
Okay,
Councilmember, but that's not a point of order.
I make point
still
of
in a
order,
point of order.
and I'm
Speak,
speaking,
please. Let us
because
speak.
I'm making a motion that we table this item so that the attorney can look at our ordinance versus the state information that was just text to us, because we're not going to make a decision this evening. We need
Second.
more information so that we can make an educated decision.
Hold on, give me one
So
moment.
I made a point of order so that we can get back in order, and now I've made a motion. Can I please get a second?
Hold on,
Second.
wait, stop. I call for the seconds. Madam Clerk, Councilmember Gay's motion was,
Councilman Gay's
no,
motion.
I'm asking the clerk.
My motion was that
Hold
we,
on, I'm asking the clerk.
Mo-
Please just let her respond.
Motion was to revise the ordinance pursuant to state law and bring back before council.
Okay, and he did not get a second on
It
that.
died for the lack.
Died for a lack of a second. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
so now we have Councilmember Arnold's motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember McKenzie. Discussion.
Just with a slight-
Councilmember Carn?
I still have some things to say, so go ahead.
Just, city manager, just, maybe take a look and see if we can come up with a happy medium, something that does work, if that's the case with the state law that completely eliminates our thing. If that's the case, then maybe we can come up with something that does work where we can have some classifications of some sort.
Council Khan, you meant city attorney.
I'm sorry, city attorney, yes, sorry, okay, all right.
For the record,
Count-
I want to make
And
Councilmember McKenzie?
yes, and I'd like to interject my point from earlier. Again, if the state has said that the classification can no longer be, mine is not about classification. Mine is about the fact that there is a lack of getting information to our residents. And so I want us to be able to look into how we, as a city, can register, still have all dogs registered, and information given to our citizens. Because again, if their dog becomes violent or aggressive, they need to know, people need to know that there are consequences for how you train, how you for what you allow your dog. So that's what my issue is. My issue is not about classification. It is simply about communication and the city being able to have some type. I heard that, yeah, everybody has to do that with Fulton County. Well, Fulton County, how do we get Fulton County's records when people move into the city of College Park? So if that can be figured out, fine. But there needs to be some type of means by which the information is getting to our public.
Councilmember Gay?
Mayor, and to my colleague's point, I mean, this somewhat is not fair to them because this was just sent to them. And if you had a legal review, she brought a guest, y'all sitting there for a half hour, then when we got it, you should have had state law. And in fact, this point forward, anything, any ordinance need to be checked by state ordinance.
Yeah.
You shouldn't just let us start debating openly when we don't know. Hell, I just had to go in my office and find this. So, come on, man.
Roger.
Councilmember Carn?
If my uncle were here, he'd say, it's a doggone shame.
And I have to say, if the dogs aren't here, doggone it.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Mr. Hicks, I have two questions on item 9G. Was it submitted for a competitive sealed bid? Mr. Hicks? Mr. Hicks?
I'm gonna have to.
Oh, okay.
So, our purchasing gentleman, along with our Director of Recreation, said that this particular company was on state contract. They looked at 3 companies, and this is the company that was chosen. Now, they followed the same pattern as the former city manager and the former purchasing agent. So, earlier, we talked about putting it on the agenda and let you guys decide if you want to vote it up or down.
Okay, so I just, my question, so it wasn't placed for a competitive sealed bid, is that correct?
I think he answered the question, Mayor.
I answered your question.
I mean, I think it's just a yes or no question. Was it placed out for a competitive sealed bid?
He gave you the prescription
Council
for
member,
how this was
I'm
done.
having a conversation.
I know, but you're kind of moving into a deliberative thing.
We
You're
haven't-
not
we
allowing
haven't-
us to move. I'd like to, point of order, I'd like to make a, I'd like to move on
I want to
with
make
the
sure we're
meeting.
not violating state law, because as Councilmember Gay said, state law is state law. And it requires us to put things that are in public works contracts in excess of $250,000 out for a competitive sealed bid. Mr. Denmark said earlier his team had not had the opportunity to review this. I am concerned that we might be running afoul of state law. That is it, because the statute says that we have to put this out for competitive sealed bid. If we've done it in the past and we've done it wrong, then we can't change the past, but we should not repeat the same behavior if it is contrary to state law. That's all I'm trying to find out. If this body wants to move forward and we don't have the support of legal, and Mr. Denmark shrugged earlier and said if that's what they want to do, they can do it, then go ahead. I will not sign it because I am concerned that we are violating state law by not putting this out for a competitive sealed bid.
Mayor, I got it.
Councilmember Carn.
I understand what you're saying, and I don't disagree with anything that you said. Nobody up here wants to do this in violation of state law at all. We're all on the same page
Great.
here. But what we want to do, Lance, come on down here. I want to get some clarification from you as well.
Well, let's do the motion.
Actually,
Well,
Point of order, I'd
well,
like for the motion to be called.
We need to, I'd like some discussion.
Councilmember, hold on.
For the,
Madam Clerk, go ahead and sound. Go ahead and sound.
well,
Council,
Mayor,
Madam Clerk is sounding. If there's a motion, we'll move forward.
Well, I think we need to have discussion.
I'd like to
because
have a little
we're talking about a
discussion
legal
here.
issue, and if you good.
I just
let
had a
it
couple of
play
questions.
out
So,
that
so,
questions
so,
get answered.
Councilman Cohen, if you don't mind, I'd like to answer those questions, because the staff gets tired of being badgered.
Yes.
So Lance, please go back to easy. I'll answer the questions, Lance. That's one reason why the purchasing guy didn't want to come up here, because he knew that the mayor would badger him. So I said, I'll take it on.
All right.
Let me answer the question.
Okay, essentially, I just wanna get an understanding of, did we jump through all the proper hoops on this thing? And, how the bid essentially,
Point of order, it's no problem with calling the motion and a second and having this discussion.
Okay.
So I am just saying, let's call the motion. Just calling a motion and a second does not mean we're gonna vote in favor.
That's right.
But it does give us the proper way to move into this. So that's all, that's why I said point of order. And so with that, I'd like to make a motion. Are you gonna read, did you read it yet?
She hasn't sounded.
Okay, would you
ma'am.
sound it, please?
Yes, of course. Item 9G, consideration of an action on a request to approve the Zepp Park Playground project and related park improvements in the total amount of $800,000, including $525,000 to Compen Inc. for playground and adult fitness equipment installation and related items, and $55,000 to Metro Corp Development Enterprises Inc. for project management and design. This fiscal year 26 budgeted item, GL account 100-6122-547920, requested by interim recreation and cultural arts director Lance Terry, will serve Ward 3.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember
Second,
Carn.
but-
Go ahead.
Councilmember Carn, go ahead. There's always discussion.
thank you. Okay, city manager, you were getting into it. Now, I didn't necessarily have a question for Lance, but if Lance, again, I don't wanna badger anybody, but if, you know, these are your employees, and we respect that. Now, if Lance can come up and just kind of explain, you know, without us asking questions, exactly where it's at from his department, that'd be great, and I wouldn't have a question for him. But I just want to clear the air before we, you know, make a decision on this thing. So is that possible? Again, I don't want to badger an employee at all, but at the same time, I want to get a little bit of clarity. Now, you may have it for me though, so whatever, what's your thoughts on this? And then I want to hear back from Winston again too.
But let's hear from the attorney.
So, this item was not in Minitrack, and I did not look at it. To the extent it complies or doesn't comply with state law, I'm not aware. The staff may indicate that there are reasons why it was not competitively bid, and so not having looked at it, I cannot evaluate those reasons to see whether they would comply with state law or not. So, and that's why I indicated earlier, I'm not in a position to give an opinion because I don't have all of the underlying facts. Now, if the city manager or his staff explains it, that's fine, but otherwise, I cannot venture an opinion.
And I'd like to comment as well, Mayor.
Councilmember Gay?
Okay, a couple things now. A couple items ago with the dog park, you tabled it because you didn't have enough information, right? You tabled it, and that was my point. You tabled it because you said you just got the state law a few minutes ago and you didn't have a chance to read it, and so it was tabled. The ordinance about the dog park was tabled to bring back. I just want to say a couple things. I support the item. That's why I voted, but I want to put this on the record. Violating state law is a crime. Period. And so what you need to do is you need to use every resource you have to make sure that we look transparent. I mean, we want to support each other, but we're depending on our city attorney and our city manager to make sure that you have vetted this correctly and to intentionally or unintentionally take the city attorney out of the loop. To some of the public, that looks like it was intentional, because it's just too easy to do it right. And here's what I've always said. I said, you have the votes, obviously, so why not just do it as transparent as you can, right? Just do it the right way. And the other thing about the state contract, I've said this for years, I've said up here. We used to get all of the unsuccessful bidders, because that's only fair. That's only part of the process, that you get all the unsuccessful bidders, because guess why? Those unsuccessful bidders have a stake at it as well. They could call foul, right? They could call foul and could say their prices were less responsive, and we've been sued. We've been sued. And this is public money that we're playing with. It ain't our money. It's public money. Everybody want a playground, and we have the votes. So I'm just simply saying, if you're saying that you're piggybacking what Lindell gave us in Jarrell, and she got fired, so make that make sense.
It wasn't for purchasing.
Well, but I'm saying that ain't a good example. Jarrell got fired, so them not good examples. And then they went on news talking about that we are moving around the process, so I wouldn't use them. But I would say, bring the unsuccessful bidders up here, or provide us the state contractor proving that they're still, like you did with Pinnacle, making sure that we don't vote on something, making sure that they still, their bid that you piggyback on is still a valid bid. That's also a requirement. If that bid isn't valid, then it's not a state contract.
Okay.
So those are my comments.
Councilmember Carn?
Well, I hear what you're saying. We don't want to be out of compliance. We want to make sure we're doing this the right way. No question about that. So Winston, sounds like it's a situation where you said it wasn't in Muni. Okay. Well, here's an alternative.
All of these documents in Minitrack.
I don't think the city attorney was routed. He was part of the routing. I didn't see him in there.
Okay. Well, okay. One thing I suggest. Now we've got a public meeting Wednesday with the budget. Is it possible that y'all could bring back some clarity at that meeting, and we take a look at it? Is that possible?
Let me just state for the record here. Again, they piggyback off of a state contract. They looked at 3 vendors and they chose one. Councilwoman Arnold, what's your pleasure? Would you like me to bring this back and have it bidded? This is your item.
That's a great question, Mr. Hicks. The answer is, I right now don't have enough information, right? The city attorney is saying that he does not have an opinion to provide to us, which is concerning. There are other accusations that are being made here on this dais that make it appear as if someone is doing something illegal.
Nefarious.
And so, or nefarious, as Councilwoman McKenzie has just said. It's to my understanding that your staff, because this really has nothing to do with me, the staff made this recommendation. And it's always my position that your staff is here day in, day out doing the work and bringing these recommendations to us. And then we vote on what they recommend. Either we vote it up or down. The recommendation was brought from the recreation staff. Now, whether or not if they have done all of their due diligence, the hope is that they have. And if they have done that work, then yes, of course I support it. But if they haven't, we need to know before we make a vote.
Well, I mean, because our purchasing person was shell-shocked the last time he came up to the podium by the mayor. So let's just take it off. Okay, we'll do a sealed bid, we'll rebid it.
If your purchasing director can verify that he's gone through all of the steps, when we have our meeting here, we have a meeting, what, tomorrow? Wednesday? Then I think you should bring it back to us. We should add that to the agenda. But we need to hear from that employee. And this is my personal opinion. We should not have employees that feel intimidated and uncomfortable to be honest with us about what it is that they have and have not done when it comes to their work. They are the subject matter experts. We are here to make decisions on the recommendations that they have researched. And any time that we are intimidating them and making them feel uncomfortable about coming down or telling Mr. Higgs what we should and should not be doing, it's a problem.
Mayor,
And-
I'm sorry, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry, continue.
So for me, I want to make sure that when any employee of yours should be able to give you a solid opinion based on their expertise, their research, and it comes to us so that we can make a decision. Please have your procurement director to collect his information, provide it to you, and then when we come together again, we can make a decision.
Roger that.
Okay, thank you.
Councilmember Gay?
Okay, I would like to just reinstate, nobody, in my opinion, have made any nefarious comments, in my opinion. Nobody's made any accusations. And quite frankly, that to me is a move to take it away from what matters. What matters, in my opinion, is something quite simple. If there was a state contractor, provide the state contractor, provide their information, because you still have to make sure the state contractor was bonded and they still operate under a state contract. You can't just, I've been wanting to do that. You can't just pick a contract that's not a valid contractor. That's number one. And if you provided that, we are intelligent enough, as they all said, to read that. Secondly, nobody's saying that the attorney was intentionally not taken out. He may have been inadvertently missed. He gets a lot of information. But he's calling it, like he said, this man got 3 decades and a law degree to protect. He just simply saying he ain't seen it. So send it to him. That's what we pay him for. And then thirdly, you still should put the unsuccessful bidders in our pack. We used to get these packages. They used to be voluminous packages. We just didn't used to go off your word. Nobody's calling nobody foul or anything, but you got to give, because Jack Longino used to say, and I'll repeat, I hear it like that, he says, y'all voted for it. And you know why he said that? Meaning, if it was wrong, all y'all voted for it. So all y'all are culpable if it was wrong. And so what I'm saying to you is, I think I'm the one who advocated the playgrounds. I'm the one who talked about how to do it. So I would be naive to not want to do it. I'm just saying do it the right way.
That's all I've been saying.
I'd like to
is
say
do it the
something,
right
Mayor.
way, and I will come to you in just one moment. I think
We're still in discussion.
and
We are in deliberation.
We're in deliberation,
And
Mayor.
you know what?
Point of
I have
order.
to. I have to speak to the fact that I have heard multiple times that there's an allegation that I'm somehow shell shocking, intimidating, berating employees. I take that seriously, and I take issue with it, because our job here is to protect and advocate on behalf of the citizens of this city. And when we work for our people, we have to ensure that we're doing the right thing. And having questions about, especially when our city attorney hasn't been involved in a proposed purchase for $800,000. No one's saying that they don't want a playground. I agree with Councilmember Gay. We've got to do it right, so we don't get in trouble later and we're spending additional legal fees trying to get out of this mess. Councilmember McKenzie?
Yes, I'm definitely in agreement with the statements that Councilwoman Arnold made. And I do want to piggyback, not as a piggyback contract, but I want to piggyback on some of the things, got jokes, right? That the city manager said. First of all, one of the things I think that we really have to work on is just making sure that our agenda packets go through all the necessary processes that they need to go through before they get to us. There's still going to be times where there are going to be things, just because something comes on the agenda doesn't mean we're all going to vote in favor or we're going to agree with it. But we do need to make sure that we do have all the information. We have had a couple of instances today, and it's just one of those types of days. So no one's perfect, but we're working on being better. As a governing body, our job is not to police the staff. Our job is simply to vote, to make decisions based on the information that we have been given. And sometimes it is difficult to make those decisions when we don't have all the information. And of course, we do rely on the city attorney to make sure that everything that we get has been legally vetted. So, but my concern, in defense of the statement that the city manager made, is that the governing body, and specifically the mayor, because that's where we're getting our complaints from staff, needs to stay out of the day-to-day actions of this city. We are not to be, and I sent this in an email, we are not to be harassing staff. There are staff members that are being harassed, and they're telling their boss. We're not their bosses. I am not the boss of any staff sitting in this room right now. I have one employee, and he's sitting right there, I guess, in a dark blue or gray, black, whatever, suit. And he is entrusted with the staff. And I want staff to hear this loud and clear. You are under no obligation to respond to us, especially when we are hounding you, when we are calling you on the weekends, which is what happened to some of our staff this weekend, being sent emails, and then when you don't answer, you all have seen the behaviors. When you don't answer right away, you get asked over and over and over again. This is not the way to treat people, and definitely our staff deserve better. So yes, we have to do better in terms of making sure that all the information, but if we got staff that are running around scared of what some member of the governing body is going to do or possibly cause them to lose their job, that gets in the way of their ability to do their job properly, because fear is a nasty thing. And when somebody feels fear, they cannot perform at their optimal. So, Mr. Hicks, I've heard the complaints. I'm aware. It is your duty to work with our staff. And the governing body members, as much as we like to be involved and hands-on, it is none of our business. The purpose of this meeting, and if we have questions when we get see, this is my big thing, and then I'm gonna shut up. This agenda came out on Wednesday, I believe, this week. So that means that we had 5 days to read the agenda, go over the questions that we had, come back to the city manager, express the issues that we had. Now, I'm going to tell you, I dropped the ball. I didn't read that part where we were missing this easement thing. I missed that completely. I dropped the ball. But I'm not going to be harassing and hounding staff 7 hours before a council meeting or the city manager asking ridiculous questions when I had 5 days to get the information. It's not fair to any of you. And Mr. City Manager, Mr. Hicks, since I tell you, give you directives, don't put up with that either from your staff. Don't allow your staff to have to go through being asked on the date of the city council meeting for all of this information. We have got to do better. We got to treat you better.
On Saturday, May 2nd, I sent an email to City Planner Lanice Lyons and copied Michael Hicks. I said, there is no supporting documentation for item 9A, only the council agenda memo. There is supporting documentation referenced in the memo, though. Can you please provide it? On Sunday, May 3rd, I sent an email to Finance Director Cynthia Hammond and copied City Manager Michael Hicks in regard to item 9E. It is indicated that this is a budgeted item. How much was budgeted for this project in account 275-4975-52-6300? I'm not sure how that rises to the level of intimidation. I'm looking for factual answers so we can have the information to do the work. I reached out to City Attorney Winston Denmark, asking if his team had had the opportunity to review the item, this item 9G. He responded to me at 4:30. He said they had not.
Our staff works Monday through Friday from 8 to 5. And if they happen to work on weekends, it's because we have special projects going on. So I still go back to the fact that the agendas were provided, the packets were provided during the week on a Wednesday to reach out to staff on Saturday and Sunday. That's already a means of intimidation. A person who works Monday through Friday gets an email from the mayor of the city on a weekend. That can be considered harassment. That can be considered a directive. That makes a person uncomfortable. Reaching out. The only thing we need to be reaching out to people on the weekend is to wish them a happy birthday. But not to ask for information that can be provided Monday through Friday between the hours of 9 and 5. And lastly, on the day of a council meeting, I'm looking at some beautiful people. I love all of you. And yes, I get passionate, and yes, I get emotional because I am a business person. I've had people work for me all of my life. That's why I have a team right now in Ward 1, because I don't know how to do business without having a team and having people work with me. And notice I said work with me, not work for me. I'm looking at beautiful people who work hard, who care, who have a history with the city of College Park. And y'all sitting up here right now at 10 o'clock in the evening, 10:13, and many of you left your homes at 6:30, 7 o'clock this morning because council meeting days are stressful for staff in this city because you never know what's going to come up. You never know what you're going to be asked for. You never know what's going to be requested of you. Respectfully speaking to our staff, it is disrespectful, in my opinion, to put anything on you on the weekends or days of council meeting when we have the opportunity to give you days to give us those answers. And I rest my case.
Thank you for your opinion. I certainly do not expect our staff to answer on weekends. We also have jobs. And so I appreciate that the day of a council meeting, it's too soon. And I'm doing my best over the weekend to go through the pages. I recognize that not everybody had the opportunity to do that, but I consider it my job to read this packet. So as the questions come up, and I know that I'm not the first person to do that. Mr. Hicks and I had that conversation that Councilmember Clay did that and gave people heads up over the weekends all the time. I've got some of his emails in regard to that. And I understand that it's somehow different now And I respect that other people's opinions about it might differ. But if I have a factual question, I will pose it to Mr. Hicks. He has requested that that be the case, and we'll move from there. If I don't get an answer, I'm going to ask here. I didn't get the answer about TPD. You answered it. Thank you very much. These are factual questions. But, Madam Clerk, where are we on this playground issue? What's the motion?
It passed.
Councilwoman Arnold made a motion.
To approve?
I made a motion. There
so
was a
that we bring
second.
it back.
We just had a whole discussion. We have not even taken a vote.
bring
It
Right,
did
I
not-
know, I
The
know. So
motion
I'm
did
gonna-
not state if it was to approve, but traditionally
It's a motion to approve.
It is to
Okay.
approve.
All right.
Yes. Yes,
So
ma'am.
all those in favor
Wait,
of
wait,
approving the
wait,
motion?
wait. I was following
Councilmember
Councilwoman
Carr?
Arnold. I think we're all on the same page here. Now, this is something that Councilwoman Arnold's district, and I was trying to hear her and what she was saying, and I think we were getting there. So Councilwoman
I
Arnold.
asked
can-
for the
can
city
you-
manager to bring us back more information
That's-
at our next meeting.
That's what I thought
So
I heard.
that's the
That
motion.
was her motion. That's what I thought I thought that's what I heard.
Madam Clerk?
Yes, Madam Mayor, I have that noted to bring back at the next meeting. We have a meeting
Wednesday.
this Wednesday, and I have that noted.
Okay, so,
It's
Step-
tabled until Wednesday.
Yes.
all right, so is there a second on that?
Second.
Hold on, I'm asking the clerk. Was there a second on that?
Yes, Madam Mayor, Mayor Pro Tem Carn, second.
All right. Any additional discussion?
I just have two questions.
Councilmember Gay?
Is this 800 plus 525 or 525 in the 800?
It's all 800.
Is
800
that-
altogether.
800 plus
Altogether.
525?
No, it's altogether 800. It's in the packet.
And then my second question, Wednesday is our budget meeting? So we're gonna do it after budget?
Add agenda items to it.
All right, any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 9H, consideration of an action on a request to approve amendment number 2 to Master Services Agreement with Paymentus Corporation. This is a request from City of College Park Customer Service Division. This is a budgeted item, fiscal year 26, GL account number 510-4630-526050. This will service all wards.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 9A, consideration of an action on request to approve the renewal of the annual Midwest Municipal Services LLC and Indiana LLC DBA Cred Star Revenue Solutions Debt Collection Services Agreement. This is a request from City of College Park Customer Service Division. This is a budgeted item, fiscal year 2026, GL account number 510-4630-57-4000. This will service all wards.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion?
Yes.
Councilmember McKenzie?
Yeah, I have a question. I noticed in this documentation that there's a 22% fee. Is that correct for the debt collection? Yeah. And the question that I have, Mr. Scott, is that going to be absorbed by the person who the debt is collected by, or is that the city? Who's paying the 22%?
It's basically the city because if we charge the person, if we're going after the debt of 800 that they owe us, then 22% of that goes to the collection agency, and we take the rest.
Okay, so basically, but the person is still paying their $800. They're not paying an extra 22%.
No, ma'am.
We had a resident who was concerned about 20% charges for paying late. Okay, thank you so much.
Councilmember Carr?
We only pay that 22% fee if they recover the funds.
Correct.
Okay, just want to make that clear for the public as well.
Any further discussion?
I have a question.
Councilmember Gay?
What is the status on write-offs? At what point do we write them off, and do we sell the bad debt?
At this point, it's the bad debt is taxpayer money, so we don't write it off, because you can have a citizen come back 10 years later and want to move back into College Park, and they can't do that until they clear the debt.
Is that in our budget? You carry that number over in our budget?
We make reserves so that we do account, we lower the accounts receivable, but we don't actually write off the account. We take reserves against the accounts receivable.
So when we look at your budgets, you saying your projected revenue has been adjusted for bad debt. Is that what you're saying?
The accounts receivable, yes, has been
Revenue.
adjusted. Yes, sir.
What percentage?
I don't know the exact percent. That's an accounting function I have to get with them, but we have a amount that we reserve to lower that accounts receivable based on the bad debt.
Any other discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Councilmember Gay, are you in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. That is unanimous.
Item
Thank you.
9J, consideration of an action on a request to accept reimbursement to the city from Fulton County Community Development Block Grant in the amount of $120,000 for Phase 2 of park improvements at Phillips Park. This project has been successfully funded and completed. This is a budgeted item coming from the fiscal year 25 Community Development Block Grant account 2206122331115. The request is submitted by Lance Terry, interim director.
Is there a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Gay. Any discussion?
Yes.
Councilmember
This-
Gay?
This is us getting money from Fulton County to oh, I'm sorry, we talking to Michael Hicks. I don't want to intimidate him. This is us getting money from Fulton County.
I'm gonna get you later.
Community Development Grant for, to reimburse us what they.
Well, thank you, first of all, Councilman Gay, for respecting the staff.
Yeah.
He's listening. You're a good learner.
So is it? Okay.
Councilmember, I actually have been getting this contract to sign and just waiting on council approval for it.
Thank you, Mayor.
All right. Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move to a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
That is unanimous.
Item 10, city attorney's report.
No report this evening, Madam Mayor.
11, city manager's report.
Well, I had quite a few things I wanted to talk about, but I'll forego most of them. We highlighted the finance department last month, and we didn't get a chance to play that video, so I'd like to do that at this time. Kelly, please.
I'm Cynthia Hammond, Director of Finance for the City of College Park, and our department has many levels, but one mission. Our mission is to manage the fiscal affairs of the city and provide effective decision support for our city leaders, department directors, and administrative staff. We help ensure every financial decision made supports the growth, stability, and the future of College Park. From accounting and audit preparation to managing the city's budget and supporting our residents. We provide accurate financial reporting, manage city assets, and oversee grant funding that helps move the city forward. We also handle treasury management, purchasing, property taxes, and negotiate bond issues that fund long-term city projects. My role is to lead long-range financial planning and ensure our council, departments, and the public receive clear, timely and accurate financial information with accountability at every level. Behind every service, every project, and every plan is a team committed to financial excellence.
All right. Awesome work, Gerald. Thank you. And Cynthia, awesome finance team. That concludes my report. Thank you.
All right, I think it's up to me now. So I want to wish everyone a happy Teachers Appreciation and Nurses Appreciation Week. I started off the day at the Promise Career Institute with the School Governance Council, serving the teachers and saying hello to everyone there and just thanking them for all of their hard work to support, uplift, and educate our next generation of scholars. They deserve our unwavering support. And the work that they do for our community doesn't end when the last bell rings for the day. And we couldn't be more grateful for their contributions. And speaking of grateful, I want to thank the ATL Airport District for all of their assistance in coordinating the visit of the Georgia Municipal Association Legislative Policy Council and the Board of Directors. They were here last week for meetings for both of those councils, and thanks to their efforts and the coordination of the Georgia Municipal Association, we had an over $60,000 economic impact to our region and 100 room nights. So when people come to College Park, they spend money, they stay in our hotels, and that ultimately helps the bottom line. So thank you to the ATL Airport District for coordinating with GMA. And as I was saying, we were proud to welcome members of the Legislative Policy Council and the Board of Directors. The Legislative Policy Council meets every Monday morning. There's about 45 members of the Legislative Policy Council, and we meet 8:30 every Monday of the legislative session to help shape the policies that GMA advocates for under the Gold Dome. And after the legislative session, there's a series of district meetings. We are in District 3, and so that meeting was held the Friday before last, and there are 12 districts throughout the state. I was able to make 4 out of those 12 meetings, made it to Thompson, Plains, Centerville, and Rockmart. And in those meetings, we heard consistently that the cost of supporting our infrastructure and all the things that we need to make our cities work is rising at a rate that there's a disconnect between our state delegations and what we're doing here on the ground. That when we get a new fire truck, we need to share with them exactly how much that costs and how much it would have cost 5 years ago. Because a lot of the conversations happening under the Gold Dome around tax relief, whether that is property tax or sales tax, end up impacting the bottom line of our cities. And I could not be more proud of the work that the Legislative Policy Council did under the leadership of Mayor Andrea Gibby from Young Harris this session, because we had a lot of challenges. But ultimately, I think if the governor signs the bill that was passed by both chambers, what we will see in terms of changes on the ground are fairly nominal. This body decided to opt out of House Bill 581 last year, which would have given a floating homestead property tax relief. And it appears that if the governor signs that legislation this year, that we will have to opt into that. But that still does not mean that we will lose money. We will have a baseline, and that will start in 2027. But a lot of that happened because of the work of the Legislative Policy Council and the Georgia Municipal Association. And so when they gathered here, we talked about taxation quite a bit. We talked about environment and natural resources and how we can help cities recycle better. Because a lot of what's going on around recycling, we don't have the information on the ground to effectively do it. Not everything that we get is great for recycling. And a lot of things end up in spaces where they necessarily shouldn't be if we're trying to do that good work. And so greater knowledge, greater communication about some of those efforts is going to go a long way. We also talked a lot about community development, but they were very in-depth conversations with those 45 members of the Legislative Policy Council to ensure that when everyone shows up, all members of the Georgia Municipal Association, to our annual convention in Savannah in June, that the policies that the Legislative Policy Council has recommended move forward as the 2027 legislative priorities of the association. The following day, we had the board of directors, and we spent a lot of time talking about housing policy. And we heard from various members on the board, from member cities as different as Atlanta, Cornelia, Macon, and Perry. And one of the common threads from a number of the cities had been that they were GIC cities, the Georgia Initiative for Community Housing. It is a 3-year program. It has been one of my goals for a long time that College Park could become a GIC city because it gives program participants a roadmap for housing policy in their respective communities. And it really drills down on some of the housing challenges that communities face. What we face here in College Park is different than in Cornelia. Lovely city, wonderful city up in North Georgia. But what they do there, we can't do a carbon copy of it. In Perry, they're building 400 to 450 new single-family houses a year. And that's because of their involvement in the GIC program. And it actually gives you points when you're applying for grants through DCA and other awards. And so our neighbors in East Point and Union City are part of the GIC program, and they're starting to see benefits as a result of that. And I think it would be a great idea to have our DCA rep come to a workshop meeting and talk about the opportunities in joining the GIC program, because it will give our community, our residents, and our other stakeholders a real voice in the future of housing policy in College Park. And I hope that my colleagues will entertain that, because I think it is a great opportunity and it has paid off for so many different cities, both in the metro and across the state. And yesterday, the Dream started their preseason. It was great. They lost, but it's all right. The excitement in the building was palpable, and it was a really fun game, and we got to see Angel Reese score 11 points in 10 minutes, and she looks good. And it's going to be a wonderful season for the Atlanta Dream. Very, very excited about that, and ready to welcome all the folks to College Park. And they'll have 5 games at State Farm Arena, but we will have them for a majority of the season, and we are definitely looking forward to that. Mr. Barner, you and your team are ready, and just can't wait for tip-off for the regular season. And lastly, I want to thank Councilmember Karn for coordinating the repast for Congressman Scott's family. It was a lovely tribute to someone who has meant so much to the city of College Park. Congressman Scott is obviously responsible for the bridge that spans Camp Creek Parkway. And his intervention, him picking up the phone, former Councilmember Clay mentioned it to me today, that just recalling picking up the phone in his office, as Congressman Scott did, and making sure that that bridge got funded in the way that it needed to in order to make it happen in our city. Congressman Scott worked tirelessly for us in regard to the Finding the Flint project, and was an advocate in so many different ways, not only for College Park, but the state of Georgia and this entire nation. A brilliant man who loved his family and his faith and always stayed true to why he was there. He was doing the work for the people. He was doing God's work. And he will be sorely missed, because I'm not sure they make him like that anymore. Congressman Scott was a consummate gentleman, and he led by example. It's something that we should all consider and emulate. On that note, Councilmember McKenzie.
All righty. Again, as the clerk is getting my video ready, it was good to hear that GMA was here in our city last week. I did talk to Larry Hansen after I saw his Facebook post that they were there, and he told me that they were here for 2 nights. It would have been really nice for the president of GMA to have shared with her colleagues and the city manager that GMA would be in town, because that's an organization that all of us belong to, and we're the hospitality city. We would have loved to welcome GMA. So anybody from GMA that's listening, we missed you. If we had known, we would have been there, but we want to thank you for spending time in College Park, and I guess apparently working with the ATL District DMO. At this time, we are ready to hear our report.
And the team, the dream team, for being here, but most of all, we thank you and we thank God for giving us the opportunity to be able to give back.
Park brought the community together today for a Give Back event aimed at supporting local families. Councilwoman Dr. Jamel McKenzie, along with community partners, hosted the Community Thrive event. It was at the Keith James Auditorium. You see the good food there. Everyone who came got a hot meal, essential items, and were connected with local resources. City leaders say the goal was to help residents access support.
This is Dr. Jamel McKenzie with my May 4th Council Report. It's been an amazing 2 weeks in Ward 1 of the City of College Park.
To celebrate the incredible accomplishments in our inaugural Youth Civic Advisory Board. Give yourself a hand. You know, today is more than a ceremony, it's a milestone. It's a reflection of what happens when vision meets commitment and when young people are given the opportunity to lead.
We provide activities that promote leaders to use critical thinking, problem solving, collaboration, teamwork, and becoming independent thinkers.
Okay, so repeat after me. If a task is once begun, never leave it until it's done. Be the labor, great or small, do it well, or not at all. Y'all got that?
Closing ceremony of our inaugural Youth Civic Advisory Board was held on Saturday, and we had the esteemed Dr. Valerie Lee, serial entrepreneur and owner of the Wellness Spot, as our speaker. It was phenomenal. And on Saturday, April 25th, I have the pleasure of joining this year's Coca-Cola Scholars Foundation students at the Urban Farm alongside Bobby Wilson for a powerful day of learning, service, and impact right here in College Park. The students were fully immersed in sustainability and organic farming, planting sunflowers and okra, building raised garden beds, painting wooden fences, and contributing to the continued growth of this vital community space. This hands-on experience not only educated but empowered the next generation of leaders to understand the importance of environmental stewardship, food access, and community engagement. Earlier that same morning, I joined members of our staff, our community, along with Vice Mayor Karn, as we did our citywide cleanup with Keep College Park Beautiful, which was a great opportunity to meet with folks and to get some of this litter off of our streets. We left from there and then went on to the public safety complex to support our police officers and staff at their career fair, which was really productive because they had several persons that were to apply. Kudos to College Park's finest. From attending the grand opening and ribbon cutting of Hip Hop Heliums to hanging out with Miss Rowe and the Sister Circle, just to kind of have a great time with women, sharing with other women, to appreciating our supporters from Ward 1 who have been so amazing over these past 2 years. This week and the week before were one for the books. And now for Ward 1 announcements and updates. Let's start with what's happening on Main Street. We're getting ready to do something really special here on Main Street. We've already planted some beautiful flowers in pots from our light poles, and I want you to come down to Main Street and see that. But we are also getting ready to plant some beautiful plants in each of these planters right here. And this is one of the projects that our Main Street beautification team is going to be working on. And we're looking forward to having you become a part of this. So we're calling on gardeners, calling everybody that loves the environment and loves Main Street. Come on, let's get involved and let's keep making College Park better and more beautiful. And speaking of Main Street in our historical district, we will be cutting the ribbon on our new Main Street water fountain, which is being installed in the next few days. And that's going to happen on May 16th, along with the ribbon cutting and grand reopening of our Historical Society building. Last week, we continued the Price Barbershop and Duplex project by having the asbestos abatement done. More to come. On Saturday, May 9th, Ward 1 is partnering with the Ludacris Foundation to honor our mothers and cherish our families. This will be held at the GICC from 12 to 3. Ignite Resource Center is doing a shoe drive that starts May 1st and goes through the 30th of June. Drop off your new or slightly worn shoes at Club E. Okay, Ward 1, it's time to get in shape with our outdoor fitness program by Temple Builders Personal Training. It starts on Tuesday, May 12th at 7 o'clock at Badgett Stadium. See you there. This is your Ward 1 counselor, Dr. Jamel McKenzie, doing the heart work to build College Park better every day.
Councilmember Carr?
All right, thank you. A couple of things. I attended a great Old National Merchants Association meeting over the weekend. It was very well attended. There are a lot of great things going on in this city on all sides of town. City manager did attend, and I saw Councilwoman Arnold there as well. I had to dash to another meeting and event. The event for Congressman Scott's family was a wonderful event. I received several thank yous. We had a little bit over 50 guests show up. Some of our state representatives were there as well. And his family was very honored, and I thought it was the least that we could do. City manager, I want to thank you for helping coordinate things. I want to thank the Public Works Department for helping out, and the Convention Center staff, Giannis, first class job as always. And it's so important that we make sure that we honor those worthy of honoring, and our business partners and our political partners. And we rolled out the red carpet, and they were very, very pleased with the reception that we gave them. I do want to propose a proclamation for the late Congressman Scott and his family. I'm going to put it on the May 18th agenda to be presented at the June 1st meeting. Hopefully we can get his family to come out June 1st, by the way, which is very close to his birthday, which is in June as well. So I thought that would be apropos. Special thanks to the Public Works Department. City manager, they were boots on the ground along the Camp Creek corridor, getting the job done this morning, and I really appreciate that, and I'm sure our residents certainly do appreciate that as well. MARTA has poured a new concrete pad alongside a bus route that was rerouted at my request, and they do have a bus shelter that's going to be coming hopefully in the next week or so that they're going to be installing as well. City manager, I also want to have, I guess, the city engineer to make sure you reach out to MARTA. We've got the bus stop there along the frontage road corridor, which is great. Now, we do need an adjacent bus sign on the other side of the street because the bus stops on one side, but we want to make sure it stops coming the other direction as well. Now, we're not asking for an additional, concrete pad and bus shelter on the other side of the street, of course, but we want that additional stop. And some buses have stopped, others keep on going, but we want to get that extra sign there directly adjacent from the pad stop. So we want to make sure we make that happen. I did attend the College Park Community Thrive event over the weekend as well. Those resources, the food resources, all of these things are very, very, very needed nowadays, and particularly with the prices of things going up and skyrocketing, most notably the gasoline. Perhaps you've noticed the difference in your tank. And those resources are needed more than ever, folks. I participated with the Coca-Cola Scholarship Foundation as well out at the Metro Urban Farms. Mr. Wilson showcased College Park in a first-class manner. Councilwoman Dr. McKenzie was out there and attended as well. Now, each of these kids, and these are our kids too, 150 kids attended. Each kid received a $20,000 scholarship towards their college education. I hope y'all heard me. That's $2 or $3 million, y'all. So that's serious money for our kids in our communities, and we definitely appreciate that as well. The citywide cleanup was a big success throughout the city on Saturday. We had good crowds come out, and we got a lot of stuff out of those different areas. There are some new businesses coming into this city, and we're happy to have new businesses, and we want to keep them coming into the city. That permit fee waiver was very successful, and it brought businesses to close a little bit earlier, to move a little bit faster, and to develop and move forward. And we're glad that that happened in terms of encouraging folks and making sure that we keep businesses coming into College Park. The business opening this weekend was the Hip Hop Helium's opening. That was really, that's a unique and extraordinary addition to our business community. City manager, we gotta support our new and local businesses. Now, this outfit, they've got some great customized gift bags that they'll make, and they can make some for College Park with our logos and whatnot. They do customized balloons, and they'll customize the balloons to whatever you want. If it's the police department or the city logo or so on and so forth, or whatever it is, they'll customize those balloons. Now, I know we use and need balloons for several events throughout the year in the city or whatever, but I want us to make an extra effort to support our city local businesses first, because they support us with their tax dollars. So if we need something and we've got the local outfits that can do it, I want to make sure all your department heads know that let's make sure we support our local folks first when we can do that. I think that's very important in terms of a partnership. There used to be a time when we had any plumbing issue in the city. You know who we'd call? Jean's Plumbing, because they were here.
That's right.
Police department, all of those parts and oil filters and different things. That was E.L. Johnson. And that's how it's supposed to be. We support our local folks. And, you know, so we want to make sure that we work with them and keep working with them. I think that's a really important part of doing business with our community folks and with other people in our community that invest in us as well. So that's all I've got.
Councilmember Arnold?
Thank you. I'm not going to speak very long. I do, I'm glad that my colleagues have brought up, you know, us recognizing new businesses and ribbon cuttings. We did have the opportunity to welcome a new business in the community, which is Legacy Veterinary Service, and so, or Veterinary Hospital. We're extremely excited about them joining the city in Ward 3. And so if you have a fur baby, we highly recommend that you take your baby to Legacy.
Took mine there today.
There were other activities that have taken place that you've already heard about. There was the Old National Merchants Association meeting that we participated in. A very meaningful meeting. Not only did we hear from Miss Mercedes Miller, the airport. They changed their name, right? It's the Conventions Bureau now, right? They added that piece to it, and so she gave an update on some of the things that are coming to the city by way of the World Cup, and there was also a presentation and conversation. Thank you to the city for not forgetting about the merchants on the Old National Godby Corridor, and them looking forward to continuing to working with the city by making sure that the businesses in that area are represented well with the facade grants. They're very appreciative of us supporting them. I also had the opportunity to, my staff and I, we worked in volunteering with keeping College Park beautiful, and also in supporting the PACE program. If you know, that is a post-secondary program that we're supporting students who want to go on and continue their education. Education is one of those things that's very meaningful to me. Some of you may have seen the post about Chancellor Davis, who was one of my mentors in the university system of Georgia. We've lost a great leader there. But I do want to thank him and his family for showing us what it looks like to be able to lead in excellence, especially when it comes to higher education. Of course, we also had the opportunity to celebrate the life and legacy of Congressman David Scott, and I want to thank Councilman Vice Mayor Karn for organizing that wonderful service. It's not every day that people think about the support that families need after losing a loved one, and for us to open our doors to this family that has supported the community for many years was very meaningful. And the family was very appreciative. Some of the comments that I heard in the room, especially from Ms. Aaron, was that you don't find too many cities or people caring enough about individuals to do something like this. And so thank you, Councilman Karn, for that. Some of the upcoming activities that we have for the next couple of weeks include our food giveaway, and we are going to work to continue to do that food giveaway. So we're looking for additional partnerships, but I want to make sure that we continue to support those who are in need in our community, especially when it comes to our seniors and our children. Where they're about to be out for the summer months, and families are suffering. Anytime that you can't afford to, or you have to make a decision on whether or not if you're going to fill up your car or purchase groceries, it's pretty serious. We'll also have a self-defense, a women's self-defense class on Saturday. And on the 18th, when we have our council meeting, I've invited some special guests. That will be class members of Leadership Clayton. My project group will be here at the workshop on the 18th to officially present our project to this body. And I certainly hope that my colleagues will listen to our presentation, consider it, and support us as we move forward with implementing this project. Outside of that, I think I shared with the city manager, when we lost these two great men, Congressman Scott and Chancellor Davis, I also lost a friend on that same day. And so tomorrow we'll be celebrating the life and legacy of Mr. Jamie Triplett. And so I ask that you all continue to uplift all of these families as they go through their grieving and their transition in living a life without their loved ones. Thank you.
Councilmember Gay?
Okay, I just have a few items, and I appreciate the comments from my colleagues. We just want to invite everybody to the Dog Park ribbon cutting May 13th at Main and Herschel. That's May 13th at 11 o'clock. It'll be on the city's website, and very excited that everybody pitched in, and I've always mentioned that we had to have the support from mayor and council before anything got done, and then it was the city manager, and then it was staff. So we have a great product we're very proud of, and I'll be moving on to the next project after that one. But May 13th. Secondly, I haven't had a town hall in forever, so I'm having a town hall May 16th. May 16th. Yeah, they allowed to frown at me while I talk. May 16th is my town hall. Probably tired. May 16th is the town hall at 7:30. We're gonna have Chairman Rob Pitts give us an update on Fulton County, and we're gonna have greetings by our new mayor, our city manager, Michael Hicks. So May 16th, and we're gonna do something we've not ever done before. We're gonna have a half-hour listening session. I just want to hear what everybody want to say. I mean, uninterrupted, uncut. I just want to hear what they want to say, and we've never done that. Speaking of David Scott, I concur with all y'all. Two of my takeaways from David Scott, when he came to the bridge cutting after he had talked, I learned something from him. At the end of his speech, he says, "Please vote for me." And I just thought somebody who was as successful as he were to be that humble in his ask. So Dave Scott, I had to borrow that one from you. And then I have one more takeaway. I think I've heard you all, and Mayor mention, I heard all y'all mention. So when we went to the lobbyist trip, and he was in his office, I learned this from him. He would actually pick up the phone while you're in the office, and if he wasn't actually doing it, he at least made the attempt to try and call and try and talk about your initiative. Like, how can I get this done? And I took away from that. Okay, so then also speaking of those who have gone on and passed the bar, I want to give condolences to our former fire chief that passed. I think his homegoing was this weekend, so to the fire community. He was he also dubbed as the bartender at the golf course with you remember? But he was a good guy. So we lost him. We lost Kusanek's wife. Yeah. And my condolences. I remember her. I remember him. He loved his wife. So our condolences to Chief Kusanek. And I think that you all should come together and look at talking about how to put the letters on the bridge, the David Scott, because it's not on the bridge. And a lot of people don't know that that's his bridge. And so, city manager, maybe we can find money in the 2026 budget, and Corey can get with y'all to figure out how he wants to do that. But we need those letters on that bridge. Secondly, on a lighter note, I don't know his name, but there was a kid who went to Woodward Academy. Then he went to Westlake, and then he went to Clemson, and then he just got drafted to the Falcons.
What'd you say?
I think his name is Terrell or something, but is his name Terrell?
Last name.
And his brother plays
Yep,
for the Falcons.
AJ plays too.
So kudos to Woodward and the community or the village.
Oh,
for
it's,
raising- Ma'am?
No, they played it.
Huh? Terrell.
Yeah, they played it. Now that you said Woodward, it's not Woodward.
He didn't go to Woodward?
No.
Oh,
Westlake. They went to Westlake.
But I know
Yes.
I got here that he went. My son said he was in school with him. My son went to Woodward, and he said, "Well, anyway, I don't know." But congratulations. Okay, city manager, and this is not my. I mean, it is my ward, but I was talking to somebody, and they told me that the Brinks development on Global Gateway is gonna have money. I don't know if it's true. I'm told that they don't take the money to the bank, that they deposit it in a vault. That's what I'm hearing. Like a lot of money. What? So no. But I see these big, large vaults. But here's my point. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, the city needs we just need to make sure that we understand that much money in our community. Okay.
That's not an executive session.
You didn't think about it. All right, my bad. I think that might be all I have there. This is Mental Health Month. Please check on your mental health. People, please.
We need to all have somebody come in.
Get your prescriptions filled. And that's all I have.
Thank you. I don't have that we have anything in executive session.
We have several things in executive
Plenty of
session.
things.
Yes, we do.
I'd like to make a motion.
Wait a minute,
to-
hold on 1 second. The packet that we received didn't have any information in it.
It's on
So
the, it's in there.
I don't have anything, so.
It's on when you go into I saw an agenda for executive
I saw an
session.
agenda with nothing attached, there was 1 page.
Litigation,
We have some items.
real estate, and
Personnel.
personnel.
I've got the FAA.
Litigation, real estate, and personnel?
Yeah.
Yep.
FAA, I need you guys to look at that.
All right. Don't have that information. Councilmember McKenzie made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Councilmember Arnold. Any discussion?
Do y'all need me?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Well, you can go.
Yes,
Bye.
we need
I can
you.
go?
Bye.
No, we need you.
You're good.
We
Either
need
way.
you.
All right.
We need you.
Just make sure your mental health is all right, that's all.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Uh,
All right, that is unanimous.